This is
bizarre.
I believe you. I'm not here.
This is like bizarre. What is the flexing?
Do you want to be adults here?
Yeah,
I think
don't
you should
be
be
like
behind
you're-
bars.
What's an SJW doing in our bushes? It looks like he's got a gun. President Sunday has explained my entire background of content creation. It's there on the record now.
Chaeiry, did you see my first video?
You know I don't watch your content. It's unwatchable.
No, but.
Like, I will point
No,
out
but- no,
doctors who have
but-
misdiagnosed,
but-
therapists who have mistreated,
But, hang on.
doctors,
but,
psychiatrists who have
but-
misprescribed. You don't
but-
actually have to
I
attack.
feel like Chaeiry is misunderstanding President Sunday's autism.
Zanya paid me $50 to hang up, but only if I say the R slur, and I can't do it. Nobody said anything about, oh yeah, and we'll take 3 hours of audience questions and arguing with random people so Wick can pay for his teeth.
But, you know, just to lay my cards on the table, obviously, President Sunday and I used to be on friendly terms. We do not see eye to eye anymore. There was some drama that went down. I can never spell Chaeiry's name right. Is that it? Is it C-H-A-E? How do you do it? Chaeiry confirmed transphobe. Anyway, President Sunday didn't see eye to eye. I've never had any big problems with Chaeiry. Obviously, some disagreements with some of the stuff she said, but I don't really have any problems with her. She's pretty chill from what I can tell. Yeah, that's basically where I stand on this. So I am obviously, you know, going to try and approach this in the most good faith, reasonable, and fair way that I can. But we'll see.
Oh, I wish. I am dead tired, barely functional, and I'm reading Hosram Infrared's groundbreaking political philosophy. Such as it is.
I'm not reading anything right now.
Oh, well, you're lucky. This is not something I would wish on anybody. So it's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. You understand why we stopped talking for a good amount of time?
I'm sure whatever you say will be perfectly plausible. I've quite forgotten. I apologize. Feel free to remind me.
You called me brainwashed, or you called me a Destiny simp. I don't know which one, but that's usually why I block people.
What were you saying to me in that context?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not really fair, is it? Well,
it's not. It's never fair that my opinion gets thrown
wonderful.
out as
How
just
do I make
being me
money
being brainwashed.
off depressed people?
no, join the club.
Chud, can you say my name slowly?
Hey, Hitler. Hey, Hitler. How's it going? Hope you're well. Hey, Hitler.
Well, if you're not, my sincerest apologies. I suspect you were probably being a little less innocent than might be.
Thanks for the $5.
Well, I don't think I'm less
Gathered
innocent because I think I'm very open on the fact that like you do not make content that I like seek out or I watch. It's difficult for me to follow.
That's okay. I'm an acquired taste.
Yeah. And that you are generally harsh to the people that I like, which it's not even like it's the liberal people that I like that you're harsh to. So it feels like they shouldn't be the enemy, but they tend to be. And I don't mind
anybody particularly in mind?
Yeah. So, well, our first conversation was us disagreeing on how you were going at Destiny. And I was sort of, if you recall, I had no problem with it, and I thought that you should have your whole rivalry, but you shouldn't bring up like personal people, right? I don't want you bringing up like.
All right, just as a point of honor, I do not have a rivalry with Destiny. He ditched the debate we agreed upon, and I think he's a dick and a coward for it. I do not think about him in that way.
Okay. But I did want to talk to you now about
Also
Kyla,
with the
obviously.
mic.
Oh, god damn it.
What do you mean, goddammit? I'm sure you've seen that I strongly disagree with what you're doing, and I'm just like...
No, I didn't see anything. You blocked me.
Oh, but I unblocked you. You can just do a quick scroll and realize I have not been the kindest person.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was kind of running with that. You were yelling last time.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I am.
Because you went to the gym, so... Which I won't hold against you, but it is objectively funny.
Wait, what happened with the gym?
You don't remember? We had a whole conversation. You were defending Destiny on the grounds that he went to the gym.
Well, because No, there's... Well, he does go to the gym.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Listen, I want this conversation to be able to start. You are...
Wait, hang on a minute. Why are they arguing about now about Destiny going to the gym? I mean, for one thing, who gives a... What does it matter whether Destiny goes to the gym or not? But the second point is, I'm pretty sure Destiny has streamed from the gym. I'm fairly certain I've seen videos of him at the gym streaming. No? I just don't really see like why this is like such an important thing to talk about.
Are being a dick because... Okay, I'm not going to point out stuff, but Steven's more fit than you, okay? Can we just like, can we table it there? Because I feel like I don't want to be, you beg to differ? You think that you're more in shape than him?
I mean, it's not a high bar.
Ay, Dios mío. Okay, listen, let's make this about Kyla.
Look, don't be confused by the lack of chin. I'm not actually all rolls down below the neck.
You're being goofy, okay?
I am.
Listen.
This is bizarre.
I believe you. I'm not here.
This is like bizarre. What is the flexing? What is going on? This is madness.
Here to body shame anybody, okay? What's going through your head with the Kyla thing? Because I think I want to be able to just call you a retard and say that you're being spiteful and all of that. I mean, I do it part of like the entertainment thing, but then I do get concerned when I see you backing away from people like Brianna Wu, and it's just like, what's going on? Because you know that's like,
why would I be positively disposed to Brianna Wu? Brianna Wu, sorry.
Because
I have no rapport. I have no rapport history with Brianna Wu.
I believe you have no rapport history with her, but that would be someone that you are aligned with.
How so?
Like ideologically. No, not.
I mean, like along progressive lines, sure. I don't know. Is this a contentious idea that you would like be like Brianna Wu? Although you might have disagreements over certain things, broadly, like President Sunday's politics and Brianna Wu's politics are broadly progressive, right? Am I crazy here? Like,
not because she's trans, because she's like SJW woke trans. Like ideologically, you guys are more aligned.
Why don't you be specific? On what issue are we aligned in particular? That's meaningful. Or you just classified me as an SJW woke school. You just assumed we're all just kind of like the same.
I assume that the people who have issues with liberals, that they are not left-leaning enough, that they are not progressive enough. I assume that you guys are aligned. So when...
Okay, well, your assumption is an error, I'm sorry to say. We're not aligned.
Okay, that's fine. You can correct me then. Because Brianna Wu, she takes up for Vosh. She takes up for Keffels. You, in similar boats, have taken up for Vosh and Keffels. I did make an assumption that you guys would be in the same boat, but if you're saying that there should be no reason...
Yeah, it feels like President Sunday's just being like super obtuse for no reason. Like, you know... I think that it's a pretty reasonable thing to say that like you'd be aligned with Brianna Wu in some fashion, right? Like even with my disagreements that I've had with her,
and
like,
to view
you know,
you guys
we probably like broadly aligned in our overarching political views. Like we probably want like a more progressive society or something, you know?
That way. I mean, I'll take your word for it. But do you understand why I come to that conclusion?
Yeah, I just think that's a really impoverished way to try and understand other people.
There's something impoverished about the way that I...
Yeah, that's true. It's so, yeah, this is a really good point. It's so insane that people from The Wire can say they're on the same side as Steven Crowder when they're beefing, but Sunday can't even say it's aligned with Brianna Wu, right? It's crazy, isn't it?
I came about that information?
I think so.
Or came about that conclusion? What's impoverished about it?
Well, because it seems like your only rubric is that there's sort of a general similarity in people we've engaged with or about at some point in the recent past. That
in the ideology that you're...
part of any... What ideology?
Progressivism?
Progressivism? What are you referring to when you say progressivism? What is progressivism?
I just found you annoying.
I don't remember signing a form, making myself a member of the Progressive Club. I don't know what you're
Okay, then you can correct me if that's the case. It was my understanding that you took up for Keffels, like when the Destiny thing happened.
I think I probably criticized elements of Destiny's manifesto on the grounds they were factually incorrect. I've retweeted Keffels now and then when she said something I agree with. I don't think I've taken after Keffels. I think I've criticized her pretty heavily. And
I don't call you...
Like a kind of like a peaceable situation at the moment. We're not like...
I don't call you a fan of hers or anything like that. Okay, instead of telling me that I'm wrong, can you tell me what you are then? If you don't consider yourself like a progressive, where do you ideologically fall? How can I associate you in this political sphere?
That's a big question. I'm not entirely sure how to answer. It depends on with respect to what.
Have you not read enough books to know where you ideologically fall?
Evidently not. I'll let you know when I do.
Come on, Prezi. The
thing is like, you know, I understand the resistance to like wanting to be assigned certain labels. I don't like the idea of like assigning a very specific political ideology. But like, I think if someone were to describe me as like progressive or something, like I'd be kind of comfortable with that. Like I wouldn't have a problem with that because that broadly, you know, for the purposes of a conversation at least, it's certainly when you're like, for me personally, when people are badgering me in chat about like, what are you exactly? Like, you know, it's kind of fun to play with that. But if you're having a conversation with someone and you're trying to move a conversation forward, I think just broadly accepting yourself as like a progressive who are kind of largely aligned with other progressives and your views on like where the direction, like, I think that's a pretty like reasonable like thing to say. Like what this is like he's clearly been spending too much with Demon Mama and like not wanting to like, I don't know, seemingly like concede anything, but he's not really conceding anything by just, well, I suppose he is in the Brianna Wu point maybe, but like it's just being obtuse for no reason, and it just is so pedantic and doesn't help the conversation move forward, you know? Okay,
on a scale of Destiny to Vosh, where do you fall? Let's say Brianna Wu is in the middle.
Let's say, oh fuck, okay, I can't be in the middle. God damn it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so there's an additional axis that you're missing. Brianna was in the middle, but I'm over here.
Oh wait, I can't see you.
That's okay. You wouldn't be able to see me anyways. I'm outside of your spectrum.
Oh, so you're saying that you're on like another plane, another dimension?
Exactly.
Then how do you fit into political commentary in this arena? Are you just here to criticize everyone?
It definitely feels that way sometimes. I'm definitely not a full card-carrying member of any particular faction, I guess, in online political commentary. I think most people here are pretty...
Would you consider yourself like more of a
not that
disruptor in
great,
this area?
What am I disrupting?
That's what I'm
I hope so,
asking.
but-
I'm asking if you would consider yourself a
Look,
disruptor.
I get joy out of studying and talking about political theory, etc., and when I see people doing stuff that I think is dishonest or incorrect, I address that. That's what I do. If you want me to like have a command and conquer type faction symbol stamped on my forehead,
I don't
can't help you there.
No, you don't have to do any of that. Listen, we're having
But the thing is, it's like, I don't think Chaeiry is. She's just asking for like a broad overview, which I think most people could quite easily give. This is like hyper autism. Like, not be like, I get annoyed with the label games, right? And I don't like the idea of having to specifically label exactly what my political ideology is. But saying broad strokes just for the purposes of a conversation is fine. Like, it's okay to say, yeah, I'm kind of broadly a progressive or something like that, you know? But then, yeah, you do kind of align. You know, like, I'm sure that Brianna Wu has got ideas about society that I share. Do you know what I mean? About like progressive ideas. It's just we probably got different ideas of how to get there, different strategies, different concepts, whatever. I mean, not that I care about politics. Who cares for me? But you know what I mean? It's like, broadly speaking, I'd be happy to say, yeah, I'm progressive and, you know, there's some alignment there. It doesn't mean that you're like best friends or like, you know, you're lockstep in every sort of perspective with them, you know. But yeah. Why do you keep leaning towards progressive President Sunday? Because the thing is, he's referring to this. Because President Sunday, the thing is based on, you know, assessing and looking at President Sunday's perspectives and the takes he tends to have. I think it's pretty reasonable to like label that as broadly progressive, right? Is that crazy? I think that's pretty reasonable for like President Sunday, right? Like, generally speaking, his takes and stuff tend to trend that way. I can't think of a single position I've heard from President Sunday over the past year that I would label as anything other than a progressive sentiment, you know? But the thing is, I don't mind not wanting to be labeled because labels come with a lot of baggage, right? But like, for the purposes of having a conversation, you need to accept some level of labeling in order to let the conversation happen. We've now just gone off on a sidetrack where it could have just been so much more straightforward and so much more easy. You just call it like left-leaning, progressive-leaning, something like that. Fine. But for some reason, it's like pulling teeth.
Conversation, I'm asking the questions. I'm not upset that I don't know the answers beforehand. Like, it's fine.
Cool. It's fine.
This is so bizarre.
The thing like, with Kyla, like, how did it
it's like watching an alien try and have a conversation. Do you know what I mean?
I do remember the debate where it was like, madam this, madam, and I know I watched it, but holy shit, like,
oh, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, that didn't initiate the snowball or whatever. You didn't hold any malice.
I don't know why his leaning is relevant here though, because the point. Okay, let me explain the course of the conversation so far. I'm a bit troubled that you're seemingly struggling to follow the conversation. So, you know, what she's basically pointing out is there's people that you would think, you know, that she would think he would share some shared political goal with or some shared political direction, right? He's denying that on its face. So she's trying to clarify what his political overarching thing is, and he's unwilling to do that or say anything in regards to that. So that's the problem. That's why it's relevant. Right.
If you'll recall, I addressed her as I interrupted her when she was talking over me. Hey, fake psychologist. That was a thing that pre-existed the conversation. That's irrelevant.
Wait. So in that debate, you called her a fake psychologist.
I did, yeah. Phony psychologist, actually, it would be more correct. I said, hey, phony psychologist. I want to get a word in, I think, if I'm remembering accurately, which I might not be.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Why did she ask that? I think she's just trying to figure out like where he's coming from and figure out some of the stuff that's going on. I mean, you know, I don't think that Chaeiry's doing anything wrong in asking that. I think that's a pretty reasonable way to try and like get into a conversation and figure out what's what with someone, right? It's a, you know, I feel like it reminds me, like I say, of the Demon Mama strategy of like, there's this complete unwillingness to agree. It's like people don't want to agree with the opposition, right? It's like, if you agree, it's like you're losing. You know, that I think is what's happening here from my perception. It just feels like any agreement is going to be, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, man. I just think, like, for me, you know, from my perspective, if someone were to say to me, like, you know, you're aligned with like Brianna Wu, like, I'd probably broadly say yes. And obviously I'd disagree with some elements and I don't necessarily agree with the Gamergate stuff. But in terms of like her vision for society, we probably have got some shared stuff there, you know, like, and that's fine to say. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
That's okay.
Just to clear up from before, you would still be on the left. There's no chance that you're like a conservative.
Not a chance in hell, though.
Not a chance. Okay. I just want to be able to clear that up for anyone who.
King Crocodile tells me to tell you I'm an intersectional and narco-fascist.
I'm not going to recognize whatever that means.
Oh. I tried.
Okay. Where are you? Okay, before we talk about Kyla and like where you're finding enemies, where are you finding allies nowadays in this political debate sphere?
Well, I mean, political debate sphere is probably aggrandizing it a little bit. It seems like
it is. I just don't know
about each other and who they're fucking and who they're. It's not really a debate or a political sphere. It's a greasy tabloid sphere, and I frankly don't.
Can you stop throwing shade at me? I like keeping people updated about my ass and my sex life.
Was that talking to me or were you talking to chat?
You're complaining about people knowing about sex details.
Oh no, you misunderstand. I don't care about people knowing about sex details or talking about sex. That's their business. I just engage with a lot of these people because they were commenting on politics, and now everybody's talking about who Destiny is fucking, and I just don't give a shit.
They're not actually.
The response I'm.
To be fair, not everyone's talking about that. I think you just happen to be talking to probably Max a lot.
I do not talk to Max.
Oh, I thought.
I do not talk to Max.
No. Okay, hold on, because you have to acknowledge you recently tweeted out the thing about the DDoSing.
What?
The old lore with Steven.
Oh no, that's that probably isn't evidence that he talks to Max. I think there was a charity stream that he did. My understanding is President Sunday did a charity stream with Max and he got criticised for it because of his commentary on Max before. But like, I think it was just for the charity event. I don't think him and Max have got like a particularly like close relationship from what I understand. About
someone who was DDoSing him and like making some comment about threats. It's like,
I found it on Reddit randomly. I didn't get it from Max.
It's literally the thing that Max is like making an article about now. He's moved past.
Is he making another article?
No, he's ditched the first concept. It's he's no longer saying that he has victims or anything like that coming forward.
I mean, your crush said that he planned to kill a kid and his family live on stream, and he seemed to be serious.
Can we like be adults here? I feel like I've been really chill.
You want to be adults here?
Yeah,
I think you should be behind bars.
Don't be like your crush. This, and this. Okay.
I think you should be
refer to people
bars.
by names. We don't have to do like the childish banter. Not me.
I think Steven should probably be behind bars for admitting that he had premeditated and planned murder.
So you are thought crime, or you are in belief of a conspiracy to commit murder?
Conspiracy to commit murder. That seems to be what he described.
And you don't think that the fact that he is making
it's kind of wild that someone would jump to they should be behind bars. I think, for me, like, if you want to say that he should be investigated for that or something, I don't know, like, I probably would be like, okay, fair enough. Like, it's some pretty whack shit, but like, to say he should be behind bars, I don't know. I don't even know if what he did meets the criteria for the crime. I mean, I don't know either way, but certainly if you want to propose an investigation, fair enough. But I mean, I don't know, man. That seems a bit fucking much, locking him up.
10. That has
also,
no
conspiracy across two people,
the fact that no crime was committed. It's not a pattern that he's exhibited. Obviously, like, there's no other
Well,
situation in which this has happened. Is it possible that him as a content creator was making content? Playing up the emotions?
Has he said that's what he's doing?
I'm asking you as a reasonable person, if you actually think that he's supposed to be behind bars, be reasonable for 1 second and just think about how that court case goes.
If it comes out that he was actually seriously planning to do so, that at the very least amounts to a death.
There's nothing more that could come out. We have all of the information. We even have the aftermath, his pattern of behavior afterwards for years.
Great.
And it's really not been a pattern.
Look.
I don't know if that's true, though. I think if the police, let's say there was some investigation into Destiny doing this, they may unearth some further information that could, there could be more information that comes out. We've only got like Destiny's comments about it, right? So I wouldn't agree that there's no more information to come out. Obviously, if there was like a police investigation into it, like they could find all, we just don't know. We don't know. My guess is that Destiny was kind of like overstating it on stream. Like, if you think, I think he got a license to get a gun. I don't know if he actually purchased a gun off the back of it, but I could be wrong on that. But also he talked about like mapping out streets. Like, I don't really understand what that means. Because like mapping out streets, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, okay, there's the, what does he mean mapping out a street? That makes it sound way more intensive than what it probably was, which I guess would be just looking at Google Maps. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It was super psychotic though. I think that's undeniable. It was like extremely psychotic. But then, you know, if people are doing crazy shit to you, it might turn you a bit fucking crazy. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I've obviously spoken about it before. You know, it's like I think I talked. Funny enough, this came up yesterday, and I was talking about it a bit yesterday. But I was saying that basically he was basically the online like nerd version of Michael Douglas in Falling Down, right? That's basically what it was. So you watch Falling Down, and you kind of, at the first at least, you're like, okay, well look, he's being a bit excessive. He's being a bit excessive, but like you can kind of understand it, yeah. Kind of annoying, isn't it? Kind of annoying, isn't it? You know, when you get like the price of stuff has gone up, you know, he blows stuff and stuff like that. Then it goes on and he gets a bit racist, and you're like, oh, I don't know about that. But anyway, you can kind of understand like why he's at his wit's end, you know, as the film goes on. That's what it's called, being at your wit's end, right? But I don't know, man. I think that obviously this has been dug up again. People are making a big deal out of it, that it truly is. I would have supported Destiny's actions no matter what.
Look, I didn't say he would be behind bars. I said he should be behind bars.
Yes, you think he should,
Yeah.
but then your bar for why you would put someone behind bars is off your feelings?
No, off of declaring that, hey, I've scoped out this person's house and I plan to murder them. And it's just because I happen to decide, the personal cost would be too high that I did.
Scoped out the person's house? I don't think that Destiny said he scoped out the person's house. That was just, he was like in the bushes looking, waiting for a fucking entrance to fucking yeet this kid. I don't think he scoped the house out. That seems a bit of a excessive comment on what actually happened. He probably just looked at Google Maps.
I think that's... that amounts actually to a death threat. I think you're basically announcing to the world at large.
So you have to acknowledge...
Hang on.
Okay.
Hey, just hang on. Hey, DDoS Kid. I know where you live. I've scoped out around your place, and I have prepared to kill you. Just push me a little harder. That's the direct implication to me. I don't want to like dwell on this too much, but like as soon as you're dealing with somebody who actually has a thought process and is shameless about it, unless there's a very clear thing demarking that as comedy, that's like, okay, this is not a person. This is not a person you can trust to be around you.
No,
period.
Thank you. That's what I need you to say is if there's nothing that can clearly mark this as comedy, that's the problem with amateur entertainment. That's even with some professional entertainment, is they don't want to reveal like the joke. They don't want it to be so fucking obvious. That's not always part of...
Wait, why is it? There's an SJW in our bushes. What's an SJW doing in our bushes? It looks like he's got a gun.
But not everyone is doing /S when they are playing a part, when they are being dramatic, playing up a role. But we do know that's entertainment.
Okay,
that's what I need you to say is if there's nothing that can clearly mark this as comedy, that's the problem with amateur entertainment. That's even with some professional entertainment, is they don't want to reveal like the joke. They don't want it to be so fucking obvious. That's not always part of...
No.
It's not comedy. /S when they are playing a part, when they are being dramatic, playing up a role.
It's no. Destiny, I don't think it was comedy. Like Destiny said, he was actually thinking about doing it. He'd lost the fucking plot. I've got to be honest with you. I'm not sure if this is the right way to go about talking about this. I don't think that it was a joke. I'm pretty sure, based on my understanding of it, that like he was like earnest in his expression of his feelings about it. But I think that what you could say is that he perhaps was like embellishing or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Only way to talk about it is to make the valid point that it's okay. I'm not. Wait, hang on a sec. The kid, right? Okay, but the family. Why would you kill the family? That doesn't make any sense. That's like Kaiser Soze fucking levels.
But we do know that this is a platform for entertainment. We do know that you are basing all of your...
Okay.
No, I let you finish. We know that you're basing all of your things on him from a 30-second clip, but you refuse to acknowledge that you really don't have the ground to have like the certainty that you do to make this claim that he should be behind bars.
What do you want to talk about?
Okay, if we move past that, I'm interested like where you're finding friends.
Oh, excuse me, sorry, that was gross.
I don't think it came over on my side.
Good. It came over on my side, that's fine.
Well,
I'm curious on where you're finding friends because it does seem, and I mean, now in the conversation.
In real life.
No, not in real life. Not like allies in this space, right? I'm not worried about
okay,
your real
wait
life.
a second. What if you go there to do it, right? You slot the kid, boom, the dad. You obviously make the dad watch as part of the punishment. And then when you've slotted the kid, you kill the dad. And then you hear a little bit of crying, and you go into another room. Okay? And there's a baby in there. What do you do then? Okay, leave it to fend for itself. You have to get the baby too. No witnesses. That's actually the plot point. Funnily enough, that's actually the plot point of a Black Mirror episode. This is the one with all the snow. It's really good. It's a good one. Where it is literally a Black Mirror episode. And then the fucking it's a guinea pig. The guinea pig has recorded it all. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. You should watch it. Alligator. That's it. Yeah, alligator.
Oh, you have allies in this space. What can they do?
Because some people are sort of rotted from within, and I'm not sure if you should be. Maybe I'm giving you so much more charity than you deserve. And I think it's because it doesn't seem right for you to disregard Brianna Wu and to basically like have with open arms like Max or Demon Mama. It just who you're choosing, it seems really confusing given
how long is this
I think the amount of effort you do try to put into whatever the fuck it is that you're doing.
Who should I be friends with, Chaeiry?
Nobody. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not here to tell you who to be friends with, but who you would find.
Help me out here.
I tried to not say friends. I tried to say allies, like people that you would think of yourself politically aligned with. But I think you don't even want to acknowledge where you would be politically aligned, which is probably why it's so easy to, like, disassociate yourself from Brianna Wu. Even though, if you were maybe a bit more honest, I don't know if it's with me or just with yourself, that you should be able to say, like, oh yeah, I'm pretty ideologically aligned with Brianna Wu. The things that she's argued for, I would stand up for.
Okay, here's actually a good segue. Okay. So Brianna Wu has adulated Kyla's takes.
Oh no! What the fuck is adulated? Right. Don't do that to me.
She has given her public approval of.
Okay.
Kyla's takes on IQ tests. Do you know what those are?
No, I don't.
Okay, so Kyla believes that people who are critical of the findings of IQ tests as measures of human potential are as anti-scientific as anti-vaxxers.
Wait, can you repeat that? She thinks what?
So the thing is like, I do actually think that take is stupid. I think, the actual, that line there of like, it's the same anti-science as anti-vaxxers is fucking insane to me. I don't think that's really correct. But I think it's like, excessively stated. But I do think it's true that there is this weird dismissal of IQ that goes beyond like it's overstated in a lot of ways, particularly by like race realists. But IQ is like it's something to consider. It's not the be all and end all. But there's this weird dismissal of it from lefties of like it's totally pointless and worthless, and but clearly there's some value in it, right?
People who are skeptical of IQ tests or of IQ as a concept, that is to say, of like a intelligence rated as like a power that human beings have.
Okay.
She considers people who are skeptical of that as being equivalent in stature to anti-vax conspiracy mongers.
And I'm guessing this is what thwarted
this, for example,
credentials.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. No, that's.
I'm making a jump then because I know she does the assessments. I'm sorry. Keep going on with your story.
No, that's neither here nor there. That would be a critique of psychometrics as a category. That's something separate. I haven't critiqued her for engaging in psychometrics. I could, additionally. If she was honest about her credentials, that's what the critiques would be.
I jumped ahead. We're talking about Brianna Wu co-signed what Kyla thought about IQ tests.
Sure. So that, for example, would be something that would put me paradigmatically against her. That's I hate this language, but that would be sort of an intrinsically reactionary position. The way in which IQ tests are created is they're, like little subtests, mini tests are assembled, and how are they picked? Well, they're called items, by the way. They are picked out based upon, depending on the test, whether or not they make meaningful distinctions between people who are low or high achieving in society already, and then whether or not there's a regular distribution. So, for example, sometimes test items are removed if they show like sex disparities on the assumption that, for example, sex disparities are socially conditioned or whatever. As a result, it ends up being circular. You end up just basically producing a mirror that appears to measure human potential, but in fact literally just measures where people have ended up as a result of current circumstances.
Yeah, actually, I agree with this. Is really true. I think the reason there's all these IQ takes is because exactly this. Lefties hate it because for a really long time, rightoids have been using IQ as an argument to assert arguments about intelligence related to genetics. Well, yeah, it is used strongly as like a race realist argument, right? But I think the thing is you can't just base it on, well, the right is saying something or taking it to an extreme, therefore we dismiss it completely. Like, it feels like this has been the pattern with a lot of things. I think you just take something on, assess it, take something on its merit or dismiss it, whatever, but like base it on actually Like, don't just dismiss it out of hand because of the way the right deal with it, you know? And I think that, like, you know, yeah, I don't know, man. It just, it feels like he's got this problem with. I mean, I've got disagreements with some of NotSoErudite's positions. You know, I've obviously voiced them publicly and spoken about it with her. But I just think it's crazy. Like, he seems to have got this bee in his bonnet about the IQ thing, and so he's like just going balls to the wall, trying to like disprove her credentials or something like that. So, yeah.
And this is basically skirted over in most defenses of IQ as a measure of human potential.
Okay. I feel like you
And
probably
as a
don't have to go.
result of this,
Okay.
it's really important though. Really
Okay.
important though. So because this bears on like the right and left thing, right? So as a result of that, social problems are now relegated to problems of, well, the wrong people are in the wrong positions, or we're trying to give resources to the wrong people. And the presumption is essentially that the model of society as it is the determiner of how society ought to be. So you end up basically being incapable of criticizing current systems because all you can think to do is to optimize those systems. And by optimizing those systems, what is meant is making sure that the poor people only do dumb jobs and all the smart jobs go to the people with money and so forth.
Wait, did he just say that, like, if you believe in IQ test, am I understanding this correctly? I might need to listen to it again. If you believe in IQ tests, you set yourself up with a society where people with low IQs go into shitty jobs and people with high IQs go into good jobs. Like, that's not to do with IQ in and of itself, though. You're making judgments off the back of the IQ. You know, it's like, whilst I think that dismissing it out of hand is wrong, it doesn't mean that, like, you know, it doesn't mean that I agree with race realists and their takes on IQ. That's crazy. Like, obviously, there's a lot more you have to put on top than just the IQ in and of itself.
Okay.
Sure that optimizing current society as it is, people are in the wrong position. It's on like the right and left thing, right? So as a result of that, social problems are now relegated to problems of, well, the wrong people are in the wrong positions, or we're trying to give resources to the wrong people. And the presumption is essentially that the model of society as it is the determiner of how society ought to be. So you end up basically being incapable of criticizing current systems because all you can think to do is to optimize those systems. And by optimizing those systems, what is meant is making sure that the poor people only do dumb jobs and all the smart jobs go to the people with money and so forth.
Okay. So I'm gonna repackage this
But
up.
the thing is like, IQ can change, right? Like the way I've done IQ tests before. The way they're structured is that it's like pattern recognition and shit like that. I'm pretty sure that you can like train or someone can and is not beset to their IQ for the rest of their existence. Like, it can change. You know, even if you're in a certain position now, you can learn and develop and move forward and get a better result in the future, right? Is that not the case? Not really. It's static. But maybe I've seen the tests. I know I did an IQ test for like to get into a school. To get into a school, is it like a proper IQ test? Okay. It wasn't just like an online. This is fucking years ago, and I was like 14 years old. So it was a long time ago. There was a study that showed how stress affects IQ. Farmers at peak harvest, high stress, were 10 points lower than after harvest, low stress. That's interesting. That goes to Sunday's points, but it doesn't go to Sunday's points, right? I agree. If you analyze the world purely on the basis of IQ tests, it's going to lead to pretty shitty conclusions, right? But I don't think that Kyla is advocating for analyzing the world just based on IQ tests. Whilst it was done in a maybe excessive or hyperbolic way, I think what Kyla was trying to point out is there's this unnecessary dismissal of IQ that like is not right. It doesn't mean that she's saying we should structure society based on IQ and shit like that, right? I don't think it means that, you know, she's saying that, oh, well, you know, if people are wealthy, they can get better IQs and good for them. I think she's just saying as an indicator, it is an indicator of something that's worth bearing in mind. That's my understanding of her position. I could be wrong, but yeah.
So we are sure that we're on the same page.
All right.
I would I'm actually inclined to think that I might agree with you more so on IQ. I understand that this is just off the top of my head what my opinion is. I think about IQ, which is we clearly can see certain things from IQ, from testing it. Obviously, it is a real thing that you can test, and whether it should be determinant of success.
Why do you think
Yeah, Kyler believes in sterilization for anyone with a sub 100 IQ. Based? Giga Chad?
it's
For
a real
like
thing you
ever?
can test?
Well, because we've been able to see patterns with it before. So obviously,
Well,
it
no,
determines.
but hang on,
Hold on,
no.
Let me finish it. Holy fucking shit! No, stop. Knock it off. Okay, so clearly we have been able to, use IQ tests to see what type of people were successful here, what type of people weren't successful here. Now, whether that means that in the future that IQ should be relevant, I don't agree. Right? Because back in the day, it was like whoever was the strongest was going to be the most productive. That's clearly not true today. So I don't feel like we ever have to like hold on to a test like IQ, but I'm not going to like pretend like IQ was never valuable, like it never meant anything, or like it doesn't mean anything right now. But I don't think it should.
Anything right now.
I don't think it should
doesn't
always
mean
mean
anything.
anything.
Doesn't mean
Okay,
anything.
well
No,
that's
no,
something I would have to learn more.
Human
Intelligence. I recommend a very good book called Genes, Brains, and Human Potential by
Not gonna read it.
Richardson.
But that's not because you're recommending it. It's just the person that I am.
Fair enough. But your audience, can you hear me?
Yeah, they can.
Genes, Brains, and Human Potential. Just trust me.
Genes, brains, and human potential. Okay.
Fantastic.
Now that is your take on IQ, and for you, the point of saying that was to say, because Brianna Wu agreed with Kyla that opinion
We have
of hers
substantive
just put you
disagreements
in
that put us
different-
at odds.
Yeah, so
We
just,
have-
if you let me
we have-
finish, I'm going to say it. And then you can know that, oh, holy shit, without repeating it, she's understood what I said and can tell me that we're on the same page. Let me do that.
Okay.
So that's why you would not automatically say,
Every professional licensing body has their own form of examination that they use to assess potential for within field success, and this point is moot. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been to job interviews, I've done job interviews and stuff like that, and there's obviously like a criteria and assessment that's engaged in, right? So like, you know, it's just true that if you're less capable in certain areas, you're less likely to get and do certain jobs in society. Like, you know, if you are totally, I mean, people with Down syndrome are like, with more severe cases, are unable to get any work. And in some cases, like in America, I'm pretty sure that they will take you on if you've got Down syndrome to do like a lower tier of work, but they like pay you less for it or something. Is that the thing? I'm pretty sure that's true. But like, you know, it sucks. But like, if you do have some sort of intellectual issue, whilst I don't think you should starve to death, like you probably aren't going to be able to have the capability to do certain jobs in society. You know, it's like if you're in a wheelchair, you can't be a firefighter. I you know, that's just the fucking rub, isn't it? I don't know what to tell you. If you can't put out fucking, is that true? I don't know. I'd imagine so. Is there any jobs you could be a fighter? Could you like just, what if you were in a wheelchair and you just turn the wheel on the on the fucking fire truck to put the water in? Could you do that? You just fucking bzzz. Oh, hey, Frank. Hey, mate, how's it going? Just going to the old fire truck. Just turn the tap on. There we go. Oh, okay. I appreciate they might be able to do some office work, but I mean, like, if you have got no legs, why does he sound like that? Oh no, that voice, that little voice, that was the actual firefighter. The normal voice, that was the normal dude. I mean the disabled guy. Wait, hang on. No, I mean, okay. What I'm saying is, if you want to be, you know, there's certain things that are going to hold you back, right? There's certain things that are going to hold you back in society, and it sucks. But some of those things are like, you know, a literal construction of like whatever racism, etc., right? That could exist. But there's also like just genuine impediments to you doing certain things that you sometimes cannot overcome. Yeah, if you're a bed blob, you're probably not going to have much success as a firefighter.
you're ideologically aligned with Brianna Wu because of this particular thing that you have noticed. It's not to say that there's not more things, but this is one that you can. Okay, so there's maybe more.
Oh, here we go. Source of support with the take. This misunderstanding in chat regarding IQ changes in the score. Your top-end potential score is always going to be the same, but you can absolutely improve your score from test to test unless the first time you take it, you have done all your work you will ever need to do to improve your mental elasticity. Okay, that sounds about right because it agrees with me.
That you can bring up, but this is at least one that you can recall and you can tell me right off the bat. That panel that you were on was about infighting, right? The idea of
the
Or what
Do
is
you
the
remember
biggest
the
threat
title?
to progressivism? And I think
Yes.
the majority of the conversation was the inability to infight, to have discourse within the left, within the progressive movement, to a point which even Katie, I believe it was Katie, who thought, yeah, I think Stephen is a progressive, but I don't see us on the same team. Like it's like everyone wanted to agree that we can do infighting, but then it seems like certain progressives, you and Katie alike, would think, no, unless I see myself agreeing with a majority of what somebody's saying or thinking, we're not in the same camp. Would you
So
agree?
you're asking me a question?
Was that even a question? You're right, that probably wasn't a question. But I'm getting the vibe like maybe you should be able to view yourself as ideologically aligned with Brianna Wu, even though you disagree on like IQ.
Yes.
Like the value or
Well,
the usefulness of
on
IQ.
what-
Yes.
On what grounds? I have no interactions with Brianna Wu. I have no interest in Brianna Wu.
But you
I
have
have no history
more
with her.
interest in Kyla's credentials than you do Brianna Wu, who
But you don't have to have an interest in someone to be overall ideologically aligned.
actually was a candidate for
What?
something, who has their own like pack. They do more advocacy for politics in the United States. Like Kyla is a
I'm
Canadian.
pretty sure she's. I'm.
Are you
my-
Canadian?
Yes.
Wait, you're Canadian?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, that makes so
Oh,
much
no.
sense why you care about Kyla's fucking shit. Okay. All right, I have to revamp. I have to reset.
Oh no,
Oh,
I don't care
no.
about Kyla shit because I'm Canadian. I assure you.
No, there's no that you don't know it, but that plays a part in this. Okay, it's only Canadians that would care as much as you have, but because you are the Canadian, you don't understand that.
I'll take your word for it.
But a lot more is making sense. Okay, maybe. Do you understand why that feels weird to me, that you wouldn't be able to view yourself as ideologically aligned with Brianna Wu, and pinpoint something like her take on IQ?
I'm just saying, as far as her positions are concerned, that and Hogwarts Legacy, all I know about her.
Oh, you don't know about Gamergate? You don't know about her
Oh, I
sticking
was gonna
up for
say.
Keffels? Oh, okay.
I was gonna say. Last time I heard about her prior to that, and yeah, I guess there was a Keffels thing. I can't remember if I knew about that before or after the Hogwarts Legacy thing. But the last time I heard of Brianna Wu before then, she was being accused of like faking some kind of hate campaign or harassment against herself by people in the Gamergate crowd. I can't remember the details or if they were valid or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think she
But
has a popular standing with her Gamergate movement.
I don't know what that means. Like they're positively disposed towards her. I find that doubtful.
Yeah, I don't think so. Man, I'm gonna have to really wrap my head around that, because then it sounds like you're sort of a lone wolf in your political advocacy. And I think, of all of the stuff that you've read about politics, right? Because you do try to inform yourself. How does one engage in politics as a lone wolf, without like other people in mind, or without other ideologues in mind?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm engaging in politics right now. I'm engaging in conversation about political stuff. Sometimes I try to make educational content. Sometimes it's just fun. But I wouldn't say that my channel is political advocacy per se. Like I definitely engage in it from time to time. But my channel's not like a state or like a party or something. I'm not like maneuvering myself into power.
This isn't, you don't have like some sort of like ambition or drive or mission. This is like fun for sport.
No. Like there are standards I set for myself. But like in terms of.
Well, I'm
like,
not saying you don't do fun or sport without standards. But
no. What I'm saying though is like there's not like a concrete political goal of the channel. I'm not entirely sure what that would even look like.
Okay. Well, most people, they have some sort of goal or party that they align with, that they want to boost, that they want to present as the ideal way of thinking, right? I think when Chud Logic first started, his was like Marxism. Hassan would say socialism. Destiny would say liberal ideology. Everyone has something that they would tell
What
others
does that
and
mean
preach
though?
to others.
What does that mean though? Like let's think about Chud Logic for a second, right?
Well, Chud
So-
no longer does that. So Chud has made a hard turn. So probably don't go with Chud.
Sure, but
go with someone else.
but that's why I'm going with him, right? So he starts off as like he read a Mark Fisher book or something, and he talked about lefty stuff, and he identified as a socialist. What happened to make him make a switch?
He lived in a society.
Nothing.
No, he lived
Nothing
in a...
happened at all.
Yes, something happened. He was...
Yes, I'll tell you
Personal
exactly.
thing...
Well,
No, I'm
there we
well
go.
aware
exactly
of
what happened.
Chud's fucking work, okay?
I'll tell you.
There we go, guys. President Sunday has explained my entire fucking background of content creation. It's there on the record now.
But you
Exactly
can
what
tell me. You can tell me your version of it.
Yeah,
It'll just be
yeah.
a Present Sunday version of Chud.
Oh, here we go.
for it.
Yeah.
Let's
so
see
he had
what
a
he's
bunch
got
of
to say.
contempt for a bunch of the lefties in his space, and he saw that a bunch of people who were moving right were making money. So he did that. That's
Not
it.
true.
Nailed it.
Actually not
what was the major
true.
shift? Okay, well,
First of all, he didn't
Do you know,
make the
it's
shift
it's
after...
funny that this is like the criticism of me, okay? Where like, what actually happened was that I came to the conclusion and the realization that the political aspect of this space is just a waste of time and it's pointless and it's a lie and it's not true. And there isn't going to be any political change that comes off the back of this, you know? So I figured, hey, I'm just going to make the best content I can, the most interesting, entertaining content that I can. And I've been honest and open about that for the past over like a year now. Do you know what I mean? I still hold a lot of the same core political beliefs. Can you explain your actual ideological evolution over the years? Absolutely not, because that would be the most boring thing I could imagine. Okay. I still hold a lot of the same core beliefs and ideas about what I think about the way society should be structured and stuff like that. Okay. But fundamentally, like, what is the value in me talking about some fucking lefty shit? It's just pointless. It's a complete waste of time. And I'd rather just focus on making content that I find interesting and bringing up points that I feel are relevant. Do you know what I mean? But there's this kind of meme of like, oh, I'm just pivoting to the right because there's more money there. And if that's the narrative, sure, that's exactly what happened. I decided to become a right winger because that's where the money is. Precisely right. Nailed it.
Growing contempt for certain people that he was friends with on the left. Those people ditched him when he started doing things that made him money streaming, that got him views streaming, which was just covering drama. He wasn't even a participant for the most part.
You're sure
I
it
am
wasn't
positive.
like,
I am the lore whore, okay?
what was I gonna, if you say so, are you sure it
I do
wasn't
say
that
so.
he was, are you sure it wasn't that he was like co-producing content with someone who was saying they raped a person, was a pedophile, and was like anti-trans, etc., and then just started referring to people on the left as leftoids and slurring them and just insulting every single person they were positively engaged with.
100% positive that's not what happened.
But what are you offering me as an alternative?
What the fuck? What?
The fact that I'm not making shit up and that I don't have a grudge against Chud to say these things?
I don't have a grudge against Chud. I'm not historically negatively disposed towards him. When he had all of those like allegations against him for grooming, I defended him on the grounds that I trusted his character, and the way he seemed to be going about defending himself.
No, you didn't have to defend him on the grounds of his character. You could easily defend him against those claims on the ground that there was no fucking evidence showing that happened. On the grounds that those people pulled fucking nothing out of their ass. You didn't have to make it like, oh, well, I knew he was a good guy, so he didn't do anything. You could just see the fucking shit that they were claiming that he did and know that they had fucking nothing.
Let's go.
How were they making something out of fucking nothing? That's all you needed to open your fucking eyes.
Sure, but not everybody defended him though.
No, not everybody did. That's true.
Like, did you?
I wasn't around back then. That's why I did lore streams for so long, because I was like catching up on all of the drama that is.
Also, that's like complete bullshit as well, because he did the classic thing of when you have a falling out with someone. He did this thing where it was like he was alluding to the idea that maybe the allegations had some sort of merit. It was so cringe. It was so pathetic and cringe that he did that. But whatever. Like, it's to be expected, I guess. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, it's always funny to see people. It's always interesting to see people talk about and explain your journey. And like, I've lived it. I've experienced it. I've been through it because it was my fucking shit going on. And other people explain it. Chaeiry is like the closest, really. And the thing is like, I remember back in like 2021 when I started covering more drama stuff. It was as early as that. It was like summer 2021. I spoke about some of the crypto shit that was happening, which was very drama laced. I talked about the hot tub meta and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff never ended up being captured because I didn't have an editor and it was difficult to edit down long segments into a snippet for like YouTube. So I just did segments on like videos and reacts and stuff because that was easy for me to put onto YouTube. But I remember at the time I felt this sense of guilt. Because I was still a bit on the fence about my ideas about like, well, what exactly is this and what's happening? But I was like, I'm covering drama and I'm kind of enjoying it and I seem to be getting good viewers doing it, but man, I should talk about the politics stuff. That's so important. But eventually I came to this realization and I was like, this is getting me the viewers and stuff like that. This seems to be the direction my channel is going anyway. And also like a lot of this politics shit that people push and talk about being important is just not as important as I was kind of halfway there to my conclusions anyway about what the politics side of it was, but like it really sort of cemented in me like, yeah, covering the politics, covering the drama, stuff like that is the way to go. Like, yeah, of course I'm like insulting towards leftoids or people that I think are stupid or whatever, but it wasn't like this kind of like, I held this kind of these sensibilities towards people broadly. Do you know what I mean? There's even like leftoids, people that I would think of as like leftoids and soy and stuff like that I still maintain like a sort of, not a relationship with, but there isn't like I wouldn't go after them and they probably wouldn't go after me because we've got kind of like a something of an understanding, and they to this day still have not like made any effort to go after me or attack me or criticize me, even for things that like a lot of other leftoids are, so it's kind of weird to think that I've just got this blanket thing towards leftoids and stuff like that. Obviously I get frustrated when I point stuff out and I'm like, this seems really dumb, this seems really stupid, you probably shouldn't do that, but it's just wild to me to think that this is like the money motivation. It's nothing to do with my politics. It's to do with figuring out that there's a certain type of content that's more popular and gets more views. So, you know, that's what I'm looking to do here. So I'm pivoting towards that. But, you know, I feel like I've always been very open about that, very honest about that as I've gone through this kind of adventure, this journey. So I don't really feel bad about any of it. But it's just kind of funny how people kind of come and they try and be like, oh, yeah, well, it's because of this, this, and this. And it's like, you just don't know anything about it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird to think that, like, what, because I started out talking about more overtly political topics, like I'm forced to do that, you know, forever because that's what I started doing. Like, I don't know, man, that seems kind of cringe to me. Like, if I don't have an interest in doing a certain type of content anymore, you know, and I find it a bit dull or a bit boring to like talk about the latest PragerU video or Ben Shapiro take or something like that, you know, every time, I don't know. And the thing is, like, I probably had a different conception of what it was. I probably did think it was more than it was back then. But even like back in early 2020, I was covering like rant soners and stuff. And I was just having a bit of fun with it and kind of mocking them and stuff. I wasn't like, you know, super doing politicals. It was just kind of like, look at this guy. He's got a funny rant soner and he says some retarded stuff. Well, they didn't say retarded back then. You know, he's saying some dumb shit over here. Look how funny it is, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, Doomcock was good memes. I will... Like, I remember when I found that Doomcock, like, maybe was doing this other rant soner that could be him and it was a Nazi thing. Like, what the fuck? That was crazy. But yeah. But yeah, anyway, I don't regret anything. My channel has grown, like, massively across the board since, like, late 2021. So, you know, since late 2020 even, it's grown over time. And here we are now, guys. February 2023. This is now the thing I do to earn money to pay my bills. Isn't that fucking crazy? Isn't that fucking crazy, guys? There's actually very few people that have been here for the long haul. There's a couple of people that are still there, but a lot of people fucking, for one reason or another, ended up despising me, you know? But yeah.
Is in this space that has guided people in so many weird fucking directions. But I did cover it like after the fact.
God, sorry, this just shows... Oh my God, this is so cringe to think about, man. Oh, God, I fucking hate thinking about some of this. I remember back in like 2019, there was, you know, there was always this social pressure that a content creator should do more, right? And I remember like back in late 2019... Hey, thank you for the gifted sub.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Smekday. They have given 3 gift subs in the channel.
I was like, oh man, I want to do this thing where I like talk about unions and give recommendations about how to organize and stuff. Oh God. Well, how cringe. How absolute cringe. God, I'm glad I'm not like that anymore. The truth is, right, okay, you can't just tell people to do shit. It's not enough, okay? If you're genuinely interested in political change, you need to lead the way and you need to do something yourself and invite everyone to join you. That's how you do it. That if you're genuinely concerned with like doing a political thing, that's what you got to do at the end of the day. That's why Destiny's been so successful in the canvassing efforts, despite having setbacks, is he's just, you know, chuck money at it and put effort and time into doing it. You know, that's it. That's the way to go.
That sounds like a sad way to spend your time, but okay.
No, I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty funny. Watching reruns of Twitch poll. It's a lot better than calling people's fucking professors and hunting down their credentials and saying that I need to know this information and I need to debunk it so people know I'm correct about IQs and shit like that. Let's go into why
slow down.
No,
let's slow it down a little
let's
bit.
speed it the fuck up.
No.
You said something.
You said something. You said something very particular.
What did
you said I called someone's professor. Whose professor did I call?
He didn't call someone's professor on Twitter.
Kyla's.
He atted the college.
No, I called Kyla's professor.
Oh my God, you emailed. I'm so sorry. You know what?
No, wait, no.
Debate fucking
I didn't
one.
email. Whoa.
Sorry, I thought they were talking about something else. Okay. No, it's something else I'm talking about. No, he didn't call... Okay. Oh, God, Chaeiry's messing this up. No, if you're going to talk to him, you need to be able to nail him on the things he did do, rather than, like, things he didn't do. I don't know if he emailed her college. I think he emailed someone about it.
Whoa,
hang on. Did
I email Kyla's professor?
Okay, President.
Why do you suppose I would?
Just
No,
tell me what
Chaeiry.
you did then.
No, Chaeiry, why do you suppose
No,
I
this
would
is so
even know who
stupid. You're
Kyla's
acting like
Chaeiry?
fucking lab. If I don't get
Chaeiry,
a,
why
if I
do
don't
you?
get a
No,
detailed
no.
clip,
Hey,
you're gonna
you
act
talked a
this way.
lot.
It's so fucking
You talk a lot.
ridiculous.
You talk a lot. Chaeiry, why do you
Okay.
suppose I would even? Why do you suppose I would even know who Kyla's professor is?
I don't know. That's why a lot of people are put off
I
by
don't
what
know.
you've been doing.
Kyla. I didn't contact Kyla's professor.
Then
I
what
called
did you do?
I emailed student advisory services at Concordia University. I have no idea who she was taught by, or whose supervisor. I had no clue. I emailed the I
Okay, you
emailed
contacted her
admissions.
school. You contacted the admissions
Yeah.
of her school. I'm sorry.
Does
but
she
that is-
own the school? Does she own the school? What is this?
I don't know if you think that makes this better. It's.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't understand. I
I'm
really,
sorry.
you are giggling.
So
because-
okay, right. The issue isn't President Sunday. Genuinely, President Sunday trying to clarify as to whether NotSoErudite, like that part is fine. The issue is the email that President Sunday sent left out vital information about NotSoErudite's background that would have influenced the answer. That's the issue at play here, right? Like, if you think someone is engaging in some sort of malfeasance, it's okay to send an email to say, hey, is this a valid thing to do? But you've got to be able to put in there the adequate information. It came across as like a dishonest act because it didn't include all of the relevant background information about NotSoErudite. That was the issue with the email, not the fact he sent it in and of himself.
I got a fact wrong.
No,
The
not
claim
that
that
you
I'm
got a
making
fact
about you
wrong.
is not
No, Chaeiry, not that you got a fact wrong. That the statement you're making is absurd.
What is absurd? What you
What
did
are-
was absurd.
What are
What
Chaeiry,
you
what are
did was
creden-
absurd.
Chaeiry, what are credentials? What do credentials do? What do they do? What are they for?
They make you run away from debates.
This is
Sorry.
kind of like, it reminds me of the Destiny Mr. Girl thing, right? It's like what Max did, the principle of it, of like, I think someone's doing something wrong, so I'm going to investigate like what's what with it, right? That isn't a problem in and of itself. It's the way you go about it that's important, and that's where the criticism lies. Like, if someone there was an allegation that they were a giga rapist, say, it would be reasonable for you to like ask around and like in the right way go to people and just ask a certain question, or just say, hey, obviously I'm friends with X, Y, and Z. I just want to talk about some of the experience you've had with them, or if there's anything particularly of note that you want to clarify, or something like that. Or like, even if some way you could ask the question, but like, you can't go to them and be like, I heard that I've been hearing that this person's been raping people. Did they rape you? Or something like that. Like, do you see what I mean? It's like, you can do an act. The way you do it is important, though. And especially if you're presenting that information publicly, although obviously that wasn't really what Max did. We're still waiting for the article. But the point is you need to go about it in the right way. That's it. You need to do due diligence and do a journalistic integrity thing. And that just wasn't present in President Sunday's video. But yeah.
What do credentials do?
They fucking piss you off and make it so that you can't make your arguments, and you all of a sudden have to go against.
Just indulge me and answer
Go after
seriously for a
people's
second.
real lives.
What do credentials do? What are
They've
they
never
for?
done shit to me. I don't know. You tell me. What have her credentials done to you? Where did they touch you? Point it on
What do
there.
credentials as a concept? What are they for? What is their purpose?
Listen, that depends on whose credentials. I am a bitch who has.
No,
gone
just
to
credentials as a
no.
category. Just credentials as a category, okay? What do they do? What are they for? So if I tell you I'm a doctor, what does that tell you?
We're not going to agree here. We're not going to agree here. I was misdiagnosed for 10 years of my life. I had hypothyroidism, not diagnosed, by several doctors. Whatever fucking feel of authority that you think that a doctor has, I don't feel that way. So whatever you felt beholden, or you felt like Kyla was stepping on you because she might have
How
a
about this?
fucking
What if I-
degree
what
in
if I
something.
say-
I don't
what if I
fucking
say-
feel that.
Hey, what does she have a degree in?
She has her bachelor's degree in psychology and a graduate diploma in psychological assessments or something like that.
Oh, good job. Well done. You're the first person to get that right so far.
And you know why I got that right? Because you've been obsessing about her. Everyone on the internet knows her fucking credentials because you are obsessing over it, because you are the type of person to hear something from a doctor and be like,
Okay,
oh, well, they have their...
I think this Chaeiry's going down the wrong line with this. I don't like. The problem is President Sunday can just kind of like, the reason he's going down the credentials route is if someone is misrepresenting their credentials, that is a reasonable concern that you might want to investigate. It's how he's gone about it that's the problem. Gammy, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. I see you've been causing a bit of a ruckus recently with your transphobia on Twitter. But yeah. He's not doing it because he's been snubbed by her. Like, listen. President Sunday genuinely feels or thinks that, like, she's misrepresenting her credentials, okay? Like, and I think he's like got an issue with his IQ tape, which should maybe lead into this. But I think his cause is genuine. He feels genuinely like she's doing this. But the way he's gone about investigating and presenting the information is the issue. If you feel that someone is misrepresenting credentials, it's perfectly reasonable to like look into it as long as you do it in the correct way. So I just don't like this idea of like you're obsessing about her credentials, because if she was misrepresenting her credentials, it wouldn't be obsessive to look into it, find that out and point that out, you know? But yeah, just a mistake, I think, in the way that of going about this. I think, like, the reality of it is, it's the way that he's gone about it, not the fact that he's doing it. That's the fundamental issue at play.
Their degree, so it must be correct.
No, not at all.
You felt like you were crippled in a debate because she had a diploma.
Did you
That you had to go into her real life in order to win the debate. You can't just make your argument better.
Chaeiry, did you see my first video?
You know I don't watch your content. It's unwatchable.
No, but what I'm going after is through my videos, yes?
Oh wait,
Did
we're
you see my
talking
first
about
Not trying to gotcha you, but what makes you think President Sunday's being genuine? He seems like a very manipulative person to me, but that's just my perspective. I think that President Sunday's very autistic. And I think that he gets an idea in his head and he feels he's got the position to make the absolute correct moral judgment on what's what with it, right? It happened with me and DK, right? Where he felt like, well, the correct decision is that Chud has got to fire DK. And it's like, well, no, that's nothing to do with you. You can give your opinion to me and tell me what you think based on the evidence you got, which, you know. And the thing is once he's got this idea in his head, he doesn't have the ability to step away from that kind of conclusion and actually look at evidence in a fair way to come to the correct conclusion about something. He engages in like motivated reasoning. So he'll go and look at certain things, quite evident in the NotSoErudite stuff, and he'll see the bits that he thinks prove his point, and he'll hyper-focus in on those and put them in his video, you know? To the point where he might even see things which apparently he may have seen some things that maybe went against what you're saying. He didn't include those, right? He purely focused on, these are the stuff that proves my point, so I'm going to include that, you know? Or he felt it proved his point, you know? Obviously that's the problem, is if you go into some sort of investigation or looking into something, like, you need to take a step away, be able to take a step away from your bias and just look for the information and put it forward in a way that like doesn't indicate that you're just focusing on this area or this area or this area that is like, or and other things maybe disprove your point. You see what I mean? But yeah. So in terms of him being genuine, I think he genuinely believes that, I don't think he's lying about thinking NotSoErudite's doing that, but his methods are shit. That's it. I'm going to call a Gammy. Thank you very much, Sonia, anyway, for the bits. Hope you're doing well. Anyway, just my perspective on President Sunday based on my own personal experience with the guy.
Oh, Kyla. Yeah, I tried.
My first video, critiquing Kyla for being
where you doxed her multiple times. Her location.
I didn't dox her. I didn't dox her.
Yes, you did.
No, it's just public information. She put it out there to promote her channel.
Not even NotSoErudite has called it doxing, man. The thing that you can say is that in the video, he put up a admittedly edited screenshot of Kyla's Facebook, which seemed like an unnecessary inclusion. And he could have, and you know, there's other things you can point to, like him saying her name repeatedly, which was unnecessary. I don't know if it classifies as doxing, but it's still shitty and scummy. It doesn't have to be doxing for it to be bad. But, you know, I just think calling it doxing is such a mistake, because you need to focus on, well, what is it exactly that's bad, rather than the... Because this is a thing, President Sunday is a gigapedant, and he'll be able to weasel away from a criticism of something actually that he's done by saying, well, it's not exactly that thing that you're calling it, you know? He's like, obviously not like a particularly good faith person to talk to. He was completely unwilling to give a broad overview of his politics earlier. So, you know, you need to make sure that you're making exact criticism of what he's done. Otherwise, you know, he's going to weasel out of it by saying, well, it wasn't that.
Sorry, I mean that's just how it is. If Jordan Peterson Jordan Peterson decided to make a Twitch channel, called himself Jordan, but called his channel Big Papa.
No, this isn't a Mike from PA fucking situation.
It
Nobody
actually
knew the
exactly
province
is.
where she lived. Come on.
What do you mean? How do you think I know? I didn't know where she lived. I knew where Concordia University was.
Why are you naming it?
I didn't know she was still in Alberta.
I understand that you're doing the
I don't even know if she is
actually
still in
thing,
Alberta.
like,
Maybe
oh,
she's
well,
not.
technically, I didn't, like, you did.
No, not
Just be-
technically.
be
No, this is
honest,
actually
just be
pointedly correct. We're
honest, just
talking
be
about
honest. Just be
a
honest.
university. We're talking about a university, not a person, right? So when we're talking about a credential, we're talking about
No.
a license or a piece
The
of paper
only
that's given
reason
out
we're
by
talking about all of this stuff
Chaeiry.
is because of a person.
Chaeiry.
I don't know why you're trying to remove it.
Chaeiry. If we're talking about a credential, we're talking about a piece of paper that is given out by an institution. That institution will be in a place and will have to abide by certain norms and laws. So when you say a credential, if you specify the credential, necessarily what you're doing, if you want it to be verified at all, is you're going to say where you got it from. You didn't get it from a paper mill. You got it from a legitimate institution somewhere in such and such. And Kyla said where that such and such was. So I knew where her credential was from, and I checked. Is her description of her credential accurate based upon what information is available from the school's public-facing like website or whatever? And it didn't add up. She was inconsistent because
Let
she
me
was
ask you
misleading
this.
to make herself look like more of a
This is
professional.
this is one thing I'd say, right? When would this happen? 2 days ago. Oh, this is after Kyla's response. If you're going to speak to someone, okay, if you're going to speak to someone who's in some like drama with someone and you want to defend their honor, so to speak, right? Just stick to the things that they say. Like, you could just, you know, obviously you need to understand it a bit, but you could just say what Kyla said, essentially, and that would be adequate. Do you know what I mean? Because Kyla, like, didn't call it doxing, you know? I don't think that Kyla had a problem with President Sunday sending the email. I think the problem was the way that the question was asked. That was the criticism of, and, you know, she had further information that demonstrated, hey, look, I've given more information and I've actually got this response, which actually backs up what I'm saying, you know? Pointing that stuff out is much better than kind of going in and being like, oh, well, you sent this, you called the school, which didn't happen, you know? You doxed her, which isn't even something Kyla herself said happened. So, you know, I think you need to kind of be guided by what the person responding is saying rather than kind of going in with your own takes, because you just end up in this situation with someone like President Sunday who's just going to like weasel out of like all of this basically. But yeah.
It was.
Let me ask you this.
Please.
You're having a debate with somebody. They invoke their education.
Yes.
You thereafter, for you, is the only way that you can re-engage with that debate or challenge them is to debunk their credentials?
Oh, I see. You're a little bit confused. I have never had a debate
confused.
with Kyla. I have never had a debate with Kyla
Then-
invoking her credentials at all.
Okay, but I thought that that was why you stated that this was
You're
so
mistaken.
important because she was
No, no, no,
claiming
no, no, no.
authority.
Yeah, no, you're very mistaken.
Okay, then clear it up.
The reason why it matters is because to a lay audience, saying that you have an official title in a field tells people, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. I'm going to take this person's opinion over this person's opinion. And if this person's making wrong opinions, then you can argue with somebody with that credential with wrong opinions. But if that person is faking their credentials and they have a wrong opinion, well, that gets really serious, actually, because now you have somebody who actually isn't in a position where they've even been tested or whatever, saying that they have, to basically give their opinions. And they
Well,
really
it's
are
clear
just
she didn't
opinions,
fake her
undue
credentials.
levels of credibility. It's really not, though.
No,
She said she had a
it's very
graduate
clear.
degree.
It's very clear she
She
didn't
said
fake
she
her
had a
credentials.
she said she had a graduate degree. She said she
No,
was a
she's always said
psychometrician.
graduate diploma.
No, she has not always said graduate diploma. I am
The fact
sorry
that
to
you
say.
don't understand their terminology does not make her.
No,
a liar.
actually, I understand. I
You
understand terminology
you
very
were
acutely.
unaware of what they called themselves.
Do you know what the difference is
if they could
between?
be
No,
licensed or they have to be licensed.
Chaeiry, I'm quoting her directly. Do you know what the difference
Yes, you
between
can
a degree and a
quote
diploma is?
someone, and it could be
You know
the
what
one
the
time that
difference-
they fumble what they're
Chaeiry,
saying, but you're
Chaeiry,
probably not going to quote all
Chaeiry,
the other times that they perfectly explained it.
Okay, but Corporate Cat, you're falling into the trap yourself. I don't know. It feels super weird. If I felt President Sunday was lying about his poli-sci degree, is it all right if I start emailing his university and colleagues? No, but then that's not what President Sunday did. So, you know, you're not accurately relaying what President Sunday did. You are falling into the same trap that Chaeiry fell into, because that's not what happened, right? That's the problem. Now, what you could discuss and talk about, and this is obviously swaying off a little bit into the, you know, getting him to accept accountability for things his followers or something do, right? Which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. I wouldn't necessarily go with this angle. But, you know, this isn't really necessarily for President Sunday to answer to, unless you wanted to tackle the fact that he alluded very strongly to the idea that Kyla was like, you know, defrauding money from the Canadian government. But, you know, the fact that I think what you're doing is you're mixing up another thing that happened. So off the back of President Sunday's video, according to Kyla, I've not seen the proof of this, but I've heard from Kyla, apparently people have been contacting her place of work. That's the claim that's made, right? So presuming that's true, then obviously, you know, that's like fucked up. But then I don't believe that President Sunday bears like any responsibility for that beyond, you know, the carelessness with which he made the claim or alluded to the allegation of like defrauding the government, which he's since walked back from, you know? But yeah, obviously that's fucked. But I think you may be confusing that. Like, President Sunday didn't contact her colleagues, as far as I know. And to my understanding, like, I don't think contacted her college or anything like that. That's my understanding of it anyway. Anyway.
I'm well aware of you being.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not a defense. This person lied about the credentials to say, well, they didn't lie about the credentials.
You saying that you have like this sort of responsibility.
He directly emailed their institution, but the thing is like, okay, I'm not sure who he emailed. I mean, even that, if that was true, I don't really have a problem with that in and of itself. If you think someone is engaging in a form of fraud, you know, emailing someone. And the other thing too is he didn't even mention her in the email. He didn't even mention it. He just said broadly what would be the case. You need to get this out of your head. The problem is not sending the email. If you want to send an email because you think someone is engaging in credential fraud, that's fine in and of itself. It's the way in which you do it that's important. The problem with the email was not that he sent it, it's that he asked the wrong question without including enough information and interpreted the response in a certain way, which led to his conclusion. That's the problem. That's the issue, not the email. Get it fucking right, chat.
To your audience to look into this, because the lay person will.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you just talked about the lay person and how they will receive credentials. But
that's why I care about it. That's not. Yes, I don't have responsibility to it. I just not.
I care about the lay person too. So when I hear someone like you talk about credentials and appeal to authority, or when I hear some motherfucker who's going to bring up the fact that they were a cop for 3 years, I will articulate to my audience why these things, they don't matter. They don't always fucking matter. Like, I will point out doctors who have misdiagnosed, therapists who have mistreated,
hang on,
doctors, psychiatrists who have misprescribed. You don't actually have to attack the individual to point out that credentials, education, being a profession in any which way, it does not mean perfection. It does not mean authority. It does not mean that they are the end all be all. You are actually just looking for an excuse to go after her when you have other ways that you can articulate to your audience that this is not an avenue to just feel confident in if someone just invokes or shows you their diploma. But you know that.
Hang on one second. Sorry. If somebody is saying that they have credentials that they don't have.
Yeah, I do not think like this isn't like, he's not trying to make a point broadly about it. He believes that she is faking her credentials. So like, of course he's going to like, you know, maybe make a video. Like, again, the video, let's say that she was faking her credentials, it would be totally reasonable to investigate, collate the information and present it. Hey, this person that you think is X aren't. I've done the due diligence. I've done the work. Here's the evidence. They're not what they say they are. That's fine. That's totally reasonable to do. It's the fact that the way he's done it, that's the problem. So I don't think this is the right way to go about it, because again, you know, he's going to revert to, well, what I'm actually doing is she's saying this, it's not true, da-da-da. Do you know what I mean?
Then other people who are not in a position to actually scrutinize what they're saying intellectually will take them on faith, because that's what we do. We don't have time to scrutinize every single person's opinions. Life's too short. So
you
when the biologist,
wrong. These are credentials that she does have, and you're stretching it to make it seem like your witch hunt is worthwhile.
When the biologist and the physicist, I realize your girlfriend is under attack. I'm so sorry.
I don't have a girlfriend. I am strictly dick
When the biologist, straight girls have girlfriends. When the biologist and the physicist or whatever, when they say, hey, this is how this complicated, difficult to understand thing works, and this is what it implies for society, people generally believe them because they have specialized in that specifically to be able to make those claims with authority. If somebody fakes those credentials or exaggerates the credentials or is misleading about them, then what happens is people will end up taking them as if their opinions and their mere opinions are authoritative, and they will make judgments with serious ramifications.
Listen, I hate to break it to you, because I feel like I have to explain to you what the fucking world is. There are people with actual credentials who are fucking wrong.
I know. That's the first thing.
What are you going to do about that? Why? You are making something out of absolutely nothing here, and you're really trying to stretch it to make it seem like it was worthwhile, worth your time, ever doing this like fucking schizo investigation into a person.
Oh, hang on. I have made no pretense about not finding this to be the most tedious thing on earth. I fucking hate this. This is not fun for me.
No, this has to be fun for you. It's either fun or it's vengeful. It's taking a grudge out on somebody. Vengeful. There's no other reason why the fuck you did that.
Why would I be vengeful towards Erudite?
I don't think it's vengeful. I feel like I feel like Chaeiry is misunderstanding President Sunday's autism. He has convinced himself in his own head, right, that NotSoErudite is faking her credentials. Okay? That's it. That's why he's doing this. He's like a fucking dog with a bone. Okay? And here's the problem. Right? He will not be convinced otherwise now. There is no information that you can present to him that will make him change his mind. Now, I think partly that's the dog with the bone thing, but also I think he is a very prideful person and he doesn't want to be shown to be wrong. He doesn't like the idea of being shown to be wrong. So of course, even though NotSoErudite is very thorough and seemingly robust and presents more information than he did of the same sources he was looking at, you know, he is not going to be able to just back down and go, okay, I was wrong about a few things. He's going to double down. He's going to triple down. This is what he does. Classic fucking President Sunday. So it's not that he's vengeful. He genuinely believes this. That's it. You know? It's too late. He's too far gone on this issue.
I want to know, is it the Madden debate? A lot of people make fun of you for that, and I don't think you should care. I think it's a good meme.
No, it's not that. No.
Care. It's funny.
It's not that. I'm telling
what I
you.
care about is her making authoritative statements about the field of psychology, which, as we just described, we just talked about the Brianna Wu thing, has like serious political implications, serious social.
What is your problem with the field of psychology? Like where? Okay.
I don't have a problem with the field of psychology.
Where is the? Okay, so you said that your platform, there's nothing personal about it. This is for fun. You're doing this for
Yeah, well, no. As
but
my channel,
like there's something
hang on.
here.
No, my channel's not part of like a specific advocacy program.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I don't have like purposes or meaningful reasons for the things that I do.
And what is your purpose, or what do you find like you have a responsibility for when it comes to?
Well, are you going to allow me to respond
psychology?
to that?
Yes.
Not psychology. I don't have an issue with psychology. It's a fascinating subject. Some people do it in ways that are ideologically fraught. Some people do it in ways that are really interesting.
Okay.
That's just a domain of study.
That is so frustrating. I feel like Chaeiry is just like taking the worst angles of this conversation, and it's just like, oh no. The thing is like, I don't know, man. I just maybe it's because I've got some knowledge, history of President Sunday. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I'd speak to President Sunday. It's whether he talked to me or not. There was a time recently where, anyway, we don't need to get into it. Remember the cuckening? Remember the cuckening? But I'd have like a one-on-one conversation with President Sunday. No, fine, no problems. I mean, I don't really know what we talk about. Obviously, there's some disagreements over recent stuff, but you know, I'm not really interested in like talking to him about the Kyler thing. It's like if you've got an issue with NotSoErudite, you don't need me to go in and fucking defend NotSoErudite. Just go and speak to NotSoErudite yourself on stream. Easy peasy. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm not going to speak to him to like defend someone else. That seems like a stupid, like pointless. Do you know what I mean? Like he could quite easily just message NotSoErudite if he wanted to talk about the NotSoErudite stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe like some other thing we could talk about, but we haven't actually spoken for a little while now. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like he just, if I spoke to President Sunday, I'd be doing him a favor because he's always desperately scrabbling about trying to get whatever fucking attention he can because he's just a very boring person at the core. And the only time he ever has any interest paid in him, you know, is when he's doing some sort of stupid drama shit. That's it, you know. You could debate him on trains. I mean, I would never debate an autistic person on trains. That's an instant L. So,
my issue with Kyla in particular is that she is opaque and misleading about
because she's white?
to the point that no, opaque in the sense of not being clear, like in terms of.
Oh, okay. I told you don't talk like that to me. That's where misunderstandings happen. You know, okay, go on. So she's not clear, and what?
Opaque means. She's misleading about what her credentials are to the point that for the longest time, a lot of people in her audience and in other people's audiences thought she had a master's degree, thought she was a psychologist, thought she was a therapist, etc., etc. And then she leveraged that in order to make her opinions on things like IQ, on things like sex differences, psychological, etc., just anything you like, to make her opinions appear as though they had.
I vividly, this like obviously you learn a lot at school. I vividly remember learning about transparent, translucent, and opaque at school. I can kind of like almost visualize the lesson in my head. It's so weird, but it's like, you know, when you get like a memory and it's very specific and you kind of not vividly, but you very much recall issue like around that time. I just remember learning about that at school. So like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, look, I know people are like, oh, Chaeiry. She doesn't know, okay? It is what it is. But the fuck she said, you mean she's white? Oh, I mean, opaque is a bit of a weird word to use, right? I think what people might normally say is like, she's not very transparent, right? That would be the less autistic way of putting that across.
some kind of like deeply informed scientific basis, and she simply doesn't. As far as things like therapy are concerned, I think she has an undergraduate in psychology and a certificate in psychometrics.
A graduate.
That means that I'm almost as qualified as she is.
You did all of this research. Stop saying it incorrectly. Undergraduate in psychology, yes.
Yes.
Graduate diploma in psychological assessment. That is like getting 2/3 of the way to a fucking master's degree. Don't call it.
No, you're incorrect. It actually takes, if I'm not incorrect, about 12 courses to get a diploma. That's not 2/3 of the way.
Also, like what's happening now is a great example of why, like, you know, I just think in situations like this, having a conversation that's framed around it, like a complex issue of someone else's life, probably isn't, like, a lengthy conversation about it probably isn't like the optimum way to do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would be better to just say, well, speak to NotSoErudite, you know, she can talk to you about it if you want to hash this out. How did this conversation come about? I don't even know how this came about.
A different credential. It's a different credential.
I'm not going to debate about this.
It takes, well, because you'd be wrong. A diploma is not.
Well, because I am repeating information someone else told me, and I just trust them more than I trust you. That's why I don't want to debate it.
Why do you trust them more than you trust me?
Because I don't know. Should I trust you more than my husband? Are you finna pay my bills?
That.
Okay.
No.
Move on.
Why say that?
Yeah, let's move on.
Let me ask you. Because you think that there are times that perhaps she's said a word wrong, or she said a
Let me level.
No. Let me ask first. There are times that she has done a misspeak, and it does feel like you have jumped to maliciousness.
He misspeaks a lot.
You've jumped to maliciousness.
I have.
Before going to her for clarification, or
okay,
going
this
to her,
is good.
or
yes, Chaeiry.
Do you think that because she has opinions that you disagree with, that it's easier for you to look at it maliciously than to see it as just a misunderstanding, and that maybe something that you could have had a good conversation with her about?
By that logic, I would be doing this with Lauren Southern first.
Why Lauren Southern?
Because I have far more disagreements with Lauren Southern than with NotSoErudite.
Yeah, Lauren Southern doesn't claim to have a credential in anything. I don't think so.
That's correct. Yeah.
So how would you do this with her first?
Ooh.
Oh, with the credential thing? That's something that Kyla did that Lauren did not do.
Exactly. So you wouldn't be able to do this with Lauren first. I know that you would love. This is often what happens in our space, right? It is the liberals that are.
Okay, that's a little. Maybe we're going in the right direction now. Yeah. I think that that's a reasonable point, in that it is true that President Sunday, and he admitted as much himself, in that he is seeing maliciousness in NotSoErudite's actions. Yeah, okay. We're going down a good route now. Come on.
The easiest to get the attention of, and the ones that we know more in depth, so it's easier to make our arguments against them.
No, just hang on one sec. Benedict, you're actually incorrect. A graduate diploma is not equivalent to I don't know what a research master's is, but it's not equivalent to a master's. A graduate diploma is significantly shorter. Maybe it's different where you are, but that's not how it is here. Sorry, as you were saying.
Okay. So.
And yeah, it is very true that President Sunday does assume like a maliciousness in actions that often aren't there. You know, he's far more willing to attribute an action to maliciousness than a mistake. And, you know, it's evidence with NotSoErudite thing. And in his own video, he even presented examples of where NotSoErudite was like clarifying where she'd said something that was incorrect and clarifying that of her own accord, you know?
The fact that,
her misspeak, someone's put it actually fairly well. Her misspeak is the equivalent of a pharmacist calling themselves a doctor, or an astronomer calling themselves an astrologer.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you have to, come on, you need to be more charitable, especially you being a fucking Canadian. You know that a lot of the confusion around her...
That's a common misconception.
Also,
we are the worst.
A lot of the confusion around her is the fact that her education is different. It's articulated different than the American education. And she's talking...
The funny thing as well is, like, we were moving in a good direction, okay? And now we've gone back to the qualification discussion. I think that was actually, it was actually more fruitful and a better conversation to go to the malice side of things. And that's like stronger ground for Chaeiry to argue on, but we've been dragged back to this fucking qualification dispute.
No, I'm Canadian, as you say.
Yes,
I'm Canadian,
but
as you say.
I'm saying you might see an era in which she's talking
about. Well, that's the grand irony of things. No, but Chaeiry, no, I've got important information. Chaeiry, this is really important. Listen to me.
It's probably not important, but I will listen and let you cut me off for the 10th.
No, but listen, just please, one second, one little tiny interjection. If she was American...
I am only letting you cut me off because I feel so fucking bad for you. That is really what's happening here.
Okay, that's wonderful. Chaeiry, if she was American, the credentials she's claiming would be more plausible. You can actually get a master's degree in psychometrics in the United States.
That is exactly what I'm saying. The fact that Americans don't understand her Canadian diploma and whatever her thing is.
I think Americans can understand the idea.
People who know anything about psychology and
They have the same
psychiatry
thing.
don't know anything about psychometrics. These are all new things for them to hear.
No,
So
they're
there's going
not.
to be
Psychometrics
confusion.
has been around-
For you, it was
No,
motherfucking
no.
new. Yeah, shut the fuck up, okay? Because you didn't fucking
No,
know
it
who the
wasn't-
fucking
it
get
wasn't
licensed
new
over
for me.
there. Stop
It wasn't
acting like
new
you
for
knew
me.
anything before you looked it up, okay? I saw your fucking video. You had a fucking ghost hunting fucking shit on your fucking screen for psychometry. You did not even fucking know what you did. You don't even know what you did after your fucking first video, okay? Stop acting like you knew anything. All of us were confused. Even the fucking maple syrup guzzling ass bitches like you. You have to understand that you would have a lot more empathy for her, a lot more patience, and you wouldn't have jumped to a fucking hit piece if you agreed with her point of view. But you have things that you know you disagree with her, so you saw malintent, you saw maliciousness, and then you acted like she was someone who needed to be burned at the stake. You need to acknowledge that. Your audience needs to fucking acknowledge that.
Listen, I don't mean to interrupt your Braveheart speech.
It's not a Braveheart speech, okay?
Just so you know.
I can't stand your ass cutting me off one more fucking time.
Just so you know.
What?
Okay. Just so you know, as a matter of historical record, I went after Demon Mama long in advance of going after NotSoErudite.
And how do you feel about what she's doing now with NotSoErudite? Are you okay with it now that you've given her the script of how to go after her?
I didn't give her the script of anything. She's actually been critiquing me and giving me pointers. I didn't give her the script at all. What makes you think so? She's got a larger channel.
I've not watched the Demon Mama coverage. I've only heard things about it and seen a couple of clips. Obviously the clip I did see was pretty bad, where like Demon Mama was like acting totally ignorant about where people might have gotten the idea that NotSoErudite defrauded the Canadian government, and when asked about it was like, I don't know why people were commenting that, when President Sunday strongly alluded to that in his video. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know enough about it, but all I've seen is like some of the discourse and stuff, and I know that NotSoErudite I don't think is very happy with Demon Mama's response in its totality. So yeah.
I know what I do. I don't tell her what to do.
I do not know why the two of you are teamed up. If you're, why would you bring up the fact that you have criticized Demon Mama before, but now you're on board with it?
Oh no, just to point out.
To point out what? To make it seem like you're not so bad?
No. Okay. The reason he's doing that is he's trying to disprove or push back against the idea of this allegation that you're making, because he's pointing out, well, I've been very critical of Demon Mama in the past. The idea that like there was some malice between the two of them at the time, which is true, by the way, this did happen. And since then, he is now, treating her in good faith. The issue is that regardless of any further interaction with the person, he can assume and put across malice in that individual's action in a given moment where there isn't really adequate evidence for malice. That's the thing that you can talk about. But, like, it feels like President Sunday has kind of deftly kind of said something now, and it's almost like she's not followed the conversation and where the conversation's gone. Like, this is why he's saying this,
No, you were I
Aligned?
was responding. I was responding to something very specific that you were saying. You were saying that if this person had opinions that
President Sunday's autism will consume all, like a black hole. Chaeiry is just the first to orbit planet on his conquest to conquer the universe.
I agree with, I wouldn't go after them. That's not true at all.
No, I'm not saying that you wouldn't go after them, that you wouldn't look at her, that the confusion around her credentials, you wouldn't look at it maliciously.
Has Demon Mama like advertised herself as being somebody who's credentialed in her field, as someone who's like especially qualified to
You think Demon Mama's not credentialed in anything? Nobody takes Demon Mama seriously. That bitch says that we need to abolish bedtime. Stop pretending like that's a serious fucking person in this space. I will not let you do that here. God damn it. She says schools need yummy food. That's the fucking political advocate that you're saying has credentials in motherfucking what?
Okay. God, what's Chaeiry doing? He didn't say that she's credentialed. That's the point he's making. He's making the point that she isn't credentialed, so he doesn't need to do this with her. Oh my God.
Forced to toilet.
And because she doesn't credential herself, he doesn't need to go after her for that.
Say she had credentials.
Then what the fuck are you saying?
No. Oh no.
Demon Mama hasn't fraudulently misrepresented her credentials to a lay audience.
Because every time she talks, people know she's fucking retarded. There's nothing that you need to fucking back up. No one's asking her, oh, can you please tell me where you came to the conclusion that bedtime should be abolished? Nobody needs engagement in any of her fucking opinions. You're not making a point here. Next thing. God damn it. I've lost my patience for you. I've lost my patience.
Oh no. This is not a good look. What was this thing anyway? Apparently I've got to watch it from his side.
Chaeiry, just one sec. Sonya.
You done fucked up.
No, just one sec. Zonya, you can't set extra conditions.
Oh, what's this?
But you can make me. If you say just leave it, then I will, but I can't. I'm sorry. Oh, fuck.
What does Zonya say? People are saying that they're fishing for a clip. I can't see it in the chat.
Okay, Dietrich, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I can't, Sonia. I can't. You have to set the conditions before. I did not agree to these terms. Oh, you're such a dick.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Sunday?
I'm talking to Zanya.
Are you running?
Zanya paid me $50 to hang up, but only if I say the R slur, and I can't do it. Can't do it.
What's the R slur?
Chaeiry, just one.
Damn, he literally can't say it. He literally can't even bring himself to say it just to describe it. That's crazy.
For you. You cut me off
Chaeiry,
one too many times.
No, but I have a serious question for you.
What?
Are you insane?
No.
Are you sure?
Oh no.
Is this supposed to do something for you?
I gotta think for a second. Hang on.
Okay, you let me know when you figured it out.
I just gotta know, am I dealing with someone who's in full command of her faculties? Because I'm not, with all due
Listen,
respect.
if you need to run, run.
No.
Yes, if you need to run, you can run.
We'll talk as long as you like. Just, I don't think you realize that you're not following what I'm saying.
Okay.
And you're not
Say it again,
making
and then
sense.
don't sound pretentious when you do so.
I will try. I also desperately have to go to the washroom. Can we like take 5 seconds and then resume?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee.
Sounds good. We'll be right back.
Oh boy. Why don't you have emotes bouncing your stream? Too distracting. I don't like it. That's right.
Pass up a fucking opportunity to talk about motherfucking abolish bedside. What am I doing here? Oh, that's true. That's true. Thing. What are the details around that? I forget. Why do you, I don't know what you want to say.
Like, if you don't mind me asking, no, I'd like to talk to people who have something to wrong.
Having fun? Or, I don't know, people yelling in a debate?
Were we having a debate?
I mean, it does feel like you were arguing with me on every fucking point.
Maybe you're just wrong a lot. I don't know what to say.
I mean, it feels like that's what you want to say.
No, I'd like to talk to people who have something to, like, add.
It's really hard to add anything when you can't acknowledge.
Like, if you don't mind me
anything.
asking, I'm 31. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. So in 7 years you'll be 40, in 9 years I'll be 40.
Yeah.
That'll leave us on average about, realistically, 30 or so years to live.
Maybe
I kind of want to like, you know, talk about interesting stuff and do interesting stuff.
Bruh, the only reason people are going to talk to you about this, the way I'm talking to you about this, is because you did this. You accused her of faking her credentials, which she didn't do. You accused her of stealing money from the government, grant money from the government, which she didn't do. You're saying you didn't accuse her of stealing grant money?
Never.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Okay.
Good ground.
You didn't accuse her.
It's a pretty.
You didn't say that she ran off with the money.
Never.
Okay.
No, he didn't actually say. What you need to point out is the context in which he made the statements he did, including the cough, is normally an indication of some sort of sarcastic tone with which you are actually making the allegations, but doing it in a discreet way. He didn't actually say that. I thought, yes, we're on to good ground here. You can press him on the fact that he is, you know, scuttled away from making this allegation when the context, reading it in its context, what other interpretation is there supposed to be other than that's what he's saying?
But do you understand how, if this conversation is boring to you, that is your doing?
Is it? How so?
The reason why, when we talk right now, that this is what I want to talk about is because this is the content that you've made. You made the choice to be like credential hunter.
I mean, you're right. Like, we could just be not talking at all.
I mean, that's fine to also not talk, but if you want more interesting conversations, you might not want to make or revolve your content around what Kyla's credentials are and whether it's valid for you to question them, whether she's stolen money from the government of... of Canada.
The stream.
These are things that you
intruded on
did.
Was me going through. No, the stream.
This is a conversation you started. This is discourse you started. If you're bored of it and you hope to have better conversations, what do you plan on talking about in the future? What do you plan on moving past this fucking shit with?
Oh, well, I'm making my response to Kyla's video.
You are making a response. Why? If you're bored of talking about, how are you complaining right now, talking to me about it, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make another video.
Because I don't do everything for fun. Sometimes things are just sort of imposed upon you. Her video was filled with misrepresentations and lies, and she doubled down on
Hey, thanks for the bits.
and misleading people about the nature of the field. So I'm going to make a response video, and then I'm turning away from this barren wasteland.
What do you like? You like Spider-Man? Somebody like the spider of credentials investigator bit you, and this is just the responsibility that you have?
You not understand why faking your credentials is a bad thing.
Oh, I understand why it is, and I understand Kyla never faked her credentials, so I don't understand what you're doing.
Can you indulge me and tell me what the problem is with faking your credentials?
I mean, it's he's autistic. That's it. That's it. He's autistic. He's got this weird thing where he thinks that he's, you know, morally justified to engage in these acts. He's appointed himself as the investigator in this situation, you know. I don't know, man. He's a traveling intellectual. Yeah, exactly. Max Autismo mode. God, how long does this go on for, man? I was going to end stream now, but I need to finish watching this, really. I can't stop. Apparently there's some other good memes that we get into, but fuck, man. Anyway, I'm just going to keep watching. Subscribe to me and send me bits and shit.
Can you?
Come on,
yes, I can.
let's
So
go.
no, I can. So first of all, I know Kyla didn't fake her credentials. But I do know that the issue that people will have with someone who's faked their credentials is that others will view them as having knowledge that they don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And they might take their word more seriously or more heavily.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So if she says she has a graduate degree, or if she says she is a psychometrician, which
there is nothing that you've demonstrated of her credentials that makes me feel like she has misled people or that she is inaccurately having confidence in the conclusion she's coming to. You have not.
That is actually an interesting angle. That is an actual interesting angle. So even if we were to accept that what's being said is true, which I don't, by the way, but like, what is it she's actually done? What in your opinion has she done with a misrepresentation? Now, the only thing that I've heard is this therapist thing, is the therapist aspect. I've not heard any other thing that Kyla's done that is like using like a misrepresentation of credentials in some way.
She substantiated what?
That she was not a psychometrician. She's not a psychometrician. When she says that, she's not telling the truth. Not by generally understood definitions of the term, and not by her own criteria.
Generally understood definition. So you're saying that if she doesn't use terms
in
her
field,
No.
I'm saying
if you're saying if
no
she doesn't use colloquial terms, and that maybe if she uses terms within her field, that there's something wrong with that.
The opposite.
What?
She's using the opposite. She's using colloquial terms to mislead lay people, and she's saying she has a statue.
NotSoErudite did post that. She has posted that in a video. She covered up her name and stuff, obviously, but she posted proof that she's got the qualification, yeah.
In a position that she has never had.
I don't believe you. I think you are really looking for a way to validate all of your efforts.
It is
I think
no consequence.
you say that you don't want to talk about stuff like this. You hope to have better conversations. You do nothing to make sure that you can have better
I got a
conversations.
level with you, not with you. I am not backing on having a better conversation with you.
No, you.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how to say this to you. Okay, the level of engagement that I have with politics is like the only level of engagement of people you're gonna get coming to you. You are a drama farmer. That's it. Your drama, you're like lolcow territory at this point. I don't think anyone's going to you for good political, like thought-provoking content. And if they do, they're going down the road of lolcow.
People are paying me for it.
Your new buddy is fucking abolish bedtime.
Have you
That's who you got.
That was a joke. Have you seen my State and Truth video?
What do you mean that's a joke?
He doesn't want to abolish bedtime. That was a joke.
Yes, both of you engage with politics in a very joking manner.
Chaeiry,
that's it. You're a joke, and then you fall the fuck off.
Chaeiry,
I don't know if I don't actually know if Demon Mum was pushed the abolish bedtime rhetoric. I think the thing that she was criticized for obviously was a take about supply chains, and she seemed to think, or she seemed to present this idea that people could just manufacture medication of their own accord, you know, as a response to the concept of blowing up supply chains. Someone was like, well, how would that work in practice? And it was like a really dumb take. Like, that's the thing, you know, that you could, and you know, although I think, you know, not quite right in terms of like the exact thing, but in principle it's true. Like, If you're like a serious political operator, like why the fuck would you want to associate with Demon Mama? Yeah.
There's no state-imposed institution of bedtime. What on earth do you think she could be saying?
Welcome to Chud
The one thing
Nation.
that the two of you
Thank
say
you,
to me
creepy uncle,
is that you have
for
an
the
audience
Prime sub.
of people who find shit like
Appreciate
that
you.
funny, an audience of some people who find that shit serious, and honestly, a motive to not be politically serious or
Hang on,
engage
one
with
sec.
anyone.
Let's make this.
in a
No,
good-
let's make this really interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Bad Empanada, you want to come in?
No, I'm not having a conversation with Bad Empanada.
Oh, come on, be a sport.
I'm not having a conversation with Bad Empanada.
I thought you were all about the drama. Come on. We'll get so many views. It'll be
No,
great.
I'm not talking
Wait.
to Bad Empanada.
I'm 50 and living with mom. I think I just figured out who you are. Any comments on Dingo the other day roasting me? I wonder if you've got any thoughts on that.
Oh, you're no fun.
That's
Does Sunday actually make a living with
also
political
someone that you
science?
want to fucking
Absolutely,
be
I do
around.
not.
Demon
Oh,
Mama,
God, no.
Bad Empanada, like that's your fucking
What's wrong with,
bread
hang
and
on,
butter.
what's wrong with Demon Mama? What did Demon Mama do?
Welcome to Chud
I don't have
Nation.
time.
What did you do?
Hey, I'm just Pepe. Thanks for the gifted.
Come on, you gotta have something.
What's in your next
Hey,
Pilot
Bad
video.
Empanada will be on your side here.
I don't care. I just don't want to engage with that person.
Fair enough.
I don't care if he wants to be on my side or not.
I understand. He's not for the faint of heart.
Yes, my heart is so fucking faint.
Wait, hang on a minute. Bad Empanada and President Sunday. What? Wait, what? When did that connection happen?
Thank you for protecting me.
You're welcome. It's my duty as a man.
Really cringe.
I
That
know,
was-
right?
that was really
Can you
cringe.
just, whoever's like got my docs, can you just like shoot me if I ever do that again? Thank you.
In a video game.
Yeah.
This is getting a bit bizarre now. What the fuck's this?
What makes you end calls with other people, but you are sitting on this call?
Or were you
I'm
looking at
mostly a
the call?
lurker. I can see your content
No,
for free
I'm
on
just
the
trying to figure
shadows.
out because I'm
Okay.
not
I can
agreeable.
tell you- I
I'm
can
not
tell you all the
agreeable.
calls.
I raised my voice at you. I've called you retarded. I've agreed with you all along the way.
Yeah.
Why are you unable to do that with other people?
What are you talking about? I'm
Why
absolutely
have you
with
left
people.
calls with other people when it gets contentious like this?
I don't generally leave calls when they get contentious. Typically, they're contentious long in advance of me leaving the call.
Okay, we were
What-
not getting
which
along
call-
before
which
this
call-
fucking call.
President
but which,
one day.
I know, right? So which call are you thinking of?
You have the MO of running. You ran off that panel. There were people who.
I didn't run off. Hey! I didn't run off a panel. What are you talking
That's what they said. Yeah, that
Okay,
witch
well, then
panel.
I'll
They
make
said
sure
you
clearly.
ran off.
The panel was over. It was a 2-hour panel. They were
Everyone-
giving closing statements.
Everyone stayed and took the viewer call-ins.
I
You were
didn't
the only
take
one that
viewer
left,
call-ins.
and the people who called
So
in all
what?
had questions
I'm
for
not
you.
obligated. I'm not obligated to take in viewer call-ins.
Well, then it's okay.
I'm not getting paid for that call. What do you think this is? I stayed
You don't
for the
get paid
panel.
for the panel either.
I know, but I agreed to the panel and I stayed for the panel.
Okay.
I had things to do that day. It was a 2-hour panel. It was like they were on for like 5 hours.
I mean, you didn't
Like
leave
he-
because you were busy. You had a nice shit-talking session with Aiko afterwards.
I did.
Yes, go on, Jerry.
And we talked about other things as well. I didn't want to be on the panel anymore. The panel was over. What I agreed to was a 2-hour panel. I did a 2-hour panel. Nobody said anything about, oh yeah, and we'll take 3 hours of audience questions and arguing with random people so Wick can pay for his teeth.
You don't want to start a GoFundMe for Wick's teeth?
Okay, I've got to give him that one.
He
That's a
has
good
to
meme.
GoFundMe for his teeth.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to those things.
I hope Wick
That's
can
a
afford his
good
teeth
meme.
someday. I sincerely do.
I've got to give him that one.
And also, the panel sucked. Nobody was engaging. For some reason, not Kyle,
Katie?
Brianna and who?
There was a Katie on the panel.
Rick needs new teeth
Hey,
now.
thank you for the bits. That's true. Give your money to me instead, though. Thank you.
Oh, I had nothing to do with her. Brianna and Wick were for some reason excited to introduce the Kyla issue, despite the fact that it had nothing to do with the subject matter of the panel. So, like, it was
I've
just
even
shit.
tried to bring up to you now how it has to do with it.
It doesn't
What
have to
is-
do with it.
Okay. First of all, you couldn't even tell me that you ideologically align with progressives.
I don't ideologically align with all people who call themselves progressives. Destiny called himself a progressive. I'm not ideologically
Yes.
aligned with him.
Exactly. So people are talking about what
China
is
calls
the biggest
itself
threat to
democratic.
progressives?
I'm democratic. Am I therefore aligned with Xi Jinping?
would you just listen to me?
I am.
Because the topic that people focused on actually had a lot to do. No, the issue that people were focusing on had a lot to do with the topic, and you are one of the biggest offenders of that, which is the inability
What?
for people. The inability for people.
Hang on. Hey, wait.
Oh my
Bad
God.
empanada. Hang on. Someone give me the conversion rate. Pesos to Canadian dollars, quick. This is important. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second. 100 pesos to Canadian dollars.
100 pesos.
Oh, that's not worth it.
Oh
That's
my
not
god, you
worth
could have
it.
just asked me about pesos. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not good.
That
at
motherfucker didn't
currency
even give you like
conversion.
$1.
You get $7 actually, Canadian, but $5 for you, I think.
100 pesos?
Yeah, is it not? Did I not put that in right? It says seven Canadian dollars. 100 Mexican pesos equals $7 Canadian.
Does this go on for this?
Oh, okay, I guess so.
Oh
Charlie,
shit! I didn't mean to do that.
How
Fuck.
about I could be wrong on that, but
Fuck! I didn't mean to do that. My bad. I need to find out where I was. I didn't mean to skip ahead. Misclick.
you get $7 actually, Canadian, but $5 for you, I think.
100 pesos?
Yeah, is it not? Did I not put that in right? It says seven Canadian dollars. 100 Mexican pesos equals $7 Canadian.
Oh, okay, I guess so.
Apparently, it's shot up recently.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
Weird. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Bad Empanada, you put 2 more zeros behind that, and I'll consider it.
Consider what? What are you plotting?
Oh, Bad Empanada says he'll pay me if I call you white and hang up, but I'll need more money than that for that. Look, I'm putting you at a premium price here. Okay, I'm not
Based.
gonna do that cheap.
Premium price? Okay, cool. Hey, Bad Empanada, you're a fucking loser.
He is.
You're a fucking loser, and I hope you lose your fucking money just to, what, get me called white?
Reach, sister.
I think all of this is inappropriate.
Probably.
Anyway, like I said, the points that they were making were so relevant to the topic, and you were the greatest offender. And if you felt like
Greatest offender
people
of
weren't
what? Sorry?
engaging on that panel, it's because you weren't engaging in people just trying to grab any sort of like sense out of you or any sort of like awareness out of you.
I
the fact that the thing is-
actually spent time like making an opening statement, and I had a coherent thesis. Do you remember what that was?
Listen, I am telling
You're gonna tell
I'm
me
telling
who's
you that
engaging
you
with who, but
are
you
an
don't even know who's
offender.
positioned for what.
I'm telling you, you are an offender of why there is so much like
You have
turmoil
committed
on the
crimes
left.
against Skyrim and her people.
It's
Let's say
just
you
your
would go
type of
offense.
people. It's just your type of people. You can't. Somebody thinks different than you on a couple of things, and all of a sudden they're like, you've put them in this like web where they are all of a sudden like antithetical to just even being aligned with you, where you could see a misunderstanding as malicious and literally go on a campaign to fucking destroy this person's like professional life. That's something that you are able to do because you're so removed, because you really don't view yourself part of a party, a movement, or an
No,
or
I don't.
anything. You engage
I
with
don't.
politics
I don't.
as such
I
a
don't,
lone
sue me.
wolf that it does
But
look
hang
like
on,
this is
hang on.
for fun,
Chaeiry.
for sport, and I think that it's so
Chaeiry.
divisive with people who are
Chaeiry.
just trying to find things that we
Chaeiry,
can
I put
agree
the
on
ball-
to make
Chaeiry.
progress rather than really
Chaeiry.
hone in on the things that are different.
Chaeiry, I put the ball in your court. What the fuck are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm talking to you.
What are you doing?
I'm probably the most successful at talking to you as a liberal. I'm doing my best. And for everyone who knows how much I don't tolerate like
You're not wrong.
most people, they know that this is a fucking effort. And I've given you this effort, and I've given you this charity and this patience multiple times. So no one can say that I'm not doing my part at trying to be good for the discourse. But apart from that, I've helped with canvassing in Georgia. I'm helping with a different canvassing effort in Wisconsin this year. I think there's something else in March. I forget. But yeah, I don't have to go over my itinerary with you, motherfucker. What the hell are you doing? Go ahead, give me the list of books that I need to read in order to be able to say fucking anything in this space, that the same list that you haven't read through yourself. Give me that list.
I know you're just yanking my chain, but it's tempting. Okay, Chaeiry. Maybe some people care that when someone claims to a lay audience that they have an inordinate amount
What is your
of
relationship like with your mother?
professional experience. And,
Oh my
Beg your
god!
What is your relationship like with your mother?
What is this?
I think it's good overall. She can be a little much sometimes, but I love her.
Do you guys get along in the house well?
Oh, we don't live in the same house.
Okay. Do you visit her on holidays?
I visit her pretty often, actually.
More than holidays, okay. Do you guys have like Sunday dinners?
Well, not really Sunday dinners, but have dinner occasionally.
Brunch after church on Sundays? What are we
I don't
looking
go to
at?
church.
You don't go to church. Oh, right.
No.
Okay. Does your wife get along with your mom?
I don't have a wife.
Your husband get along with your mom?
Yes, very much so.
So that was a yes to the husband.
Is that of particular interest to you?
It is. It is of interest to me. I'm trying to humanize you. I'm trying to see anything about you that just resembles anything normal, anything that I can grasp onto to understand why you are acting the way that you are.
I was trying to read a Haas website.
A what?
Infrared has like a Substack thing. We were supposed to be debating his political theory.
Okay.
You see the title of my stream here?
No, I don't have your thing open. But you weren't pretending to be gay, right? Because that's a little weird. If you're pretending.
That'd be a little weird, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I would do that.
You just have to say that you aren't pretending.
Do I, though?
You do.
Really? I have to say I'm not pretending to be gay.
Yeah.
This is a
Because
bit
then it's like
bizarre. Why
stolen
we-
gay valor.
I don't really
No,
understand.
Chaeiry.
Yeah, that's stolen gay valor.
No, I'm answering your
What's
question,
Chaeiry
Oh, so
doing?
you're not gay. Okay. So being gay is just...
I am. I just said my partner was male.
This
Wait,
is
what?
bizarre. What is going on?
No, now I'm even more confused. I feel like now everything is so much more awkward. It wasn't supposed to be this fucking awkward President Sunday.
Oh God. What?
Just answer the questions yes or no. Do you have a husband?
Well, fiance of sorts.
You have a fiance
This is so awkward,
of sorts.
man.
They're a human, right?
I got moments, but generally, yeah.
Okay. I just have to check, okay? I watched a panel of zoophiles, so I never know what to think. There was some girl on the internet, on Twitter, who got booted off. There's a video of her fucking a dog that got reported. I don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff on the side of the internet. Your friend Demon Mama, she's in like a 3-way relationship with 2 deers. It's just, I feel the need to ask.
I'm pretty sure.
What
she
is
in
going
a
on?
More than 2-way relationship with 3 people with neo pronouns. I don't think she's in a relationship with deers.
Oh. Fuck,
my
I have a hard time keeping up.
Evidently.
Oh my God, man.
Also, that's grossly disrespectful. What are you getting at here?
What's disrespectful?
What have Demon Mama's partners done to you?
What's disrespectful?
Well, you're suddenly psychoanalyzing me for who I'm.
I'm just saying how I needed to check to see if your partner was a human, because I've been told that other people are not humans on this platform. That they are things, that they are its, that they are deers. This is not disrespectful. I'm being so respectful. I'm acknowledging the space that I'm in and the different things that are in here. By what metric are you being
respectful? By what metric are you being respectful?
You compare me to any other Dominican person, and I promise you, this is the most respect that you've ever seen from my country.
Let me put this another way. Given the fact that you are implicating stereotypes and caricatures in your description of people that you are addressing,
what is a caricature? What is a caricature?
You refer to Demon Mama's partners as deer.
They identify as deer.
No, they don't. Doe doesn't identify as a deer. That's a Twitter name. That's like a joke.
Then
I mean, President Sunday is correct here. Like, it's a stupid Twitter meme. Like, I don't understand why Chaeiry is taking it in this direction. This is like, I feel like what's happened is it's gotten super awkward, and so Chaeiry's kind of gone off in this direction, and now it's got even more awkward. I just don't know why we're getting into this. Just seems like a pointless diversion. I just do not understand why the fuck we're talking about Demo's fucking partners in this conversation. What is going on? Chaeiry, you're getting taken for a ride. Stop.
No, she identifies as a deer. She said that it's a death threat when people talk about hunting deers.
Well, yes, because it had been caricatured as a deer as continuation of a joke, and then they had been commenting on like deer hunting season.
No, okay, this is going to sound like I'm being ridiculous. I swear I've seen debates about, like, her identifying,
maybe this
that
is
Doe
more,
identifying as a deer.
Maybe this is more telling of the kinds of people you interact with.
No, it's not the types of people. It's her. I seen her make the argument about her own fucking.
Doe goes by it.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. No, you're not gonna gaslight me. I know Doe say that she a fucking deer. Knock it the fuck off. You don't get to tell me I'm disrespectful when I'm acknowledging someone thinks that they're a deer.
But Doe hasn't actually. It feels like Chaeiry is interacting in a lot of this via like memes from Twitter and stuff. Like, that's the issue at hand here. And in fact, some of the things she said that President Sunday has done, I think she's like taken in from seeing it on Twitter, but hasn't got exactly the right story straight. Like when she commented on President Sunday, like calling the school, I think that she's got mixed up, and she's seen people. I think she's seen people talking about people contacting the college, but it's not President Sunday that's done that. It's one of his someone. I don't even know who, but someone has allegedly done that. Like, that's the issue at play here, you know? That's the problem with the political space. Too many means you can't have real convo. You can, but if you want to make a claim about something, it needs to be based in reality. Chud, can we stop the cap? These people were crying and trying to cancel Destiny on Twitter over deer jokes. Kaz, are you fucking retarded? Are you a literal retard? I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm saying that Doe has not referred to themselves as a fucking deer. That is true, okay? So if you argue with someone like President Sunday, right, you need to get your fucking ducks in a row. And if you want to make, I mean, I don't understand why you're talking about Demon Mama's partners. That seems like just a pointless fucking diversion from the conversation. But if you do really want to do that, you need to focus on the things that actually happened and not base your arguments on fucking Twitter memes.
Doe has never identified as a deer.
You are all just like terrorists of the English language. Okay? You're really
Especially if you're arguing against a fucking pedant like President Sunday. You need to make sure you're absolutely correct in what you say.
willing to tell me that I'm disrespectful, that I'm confused, when I
President
know I've
Sunday,
seen with my own
terrorist
fucking eyes
of the English language.
that
You know,
a bitch
actually,
really
my
claimed that she's a
character,
deer. I will not have you gaslight me.
my name, Doe has never identified as a deer. My YouTube channel is actually named after a fictional anarchist, what would be called a terrorist today. I kind of like that.
Okay.
Bad, but not. I don't have guests lined up, and I'm certainly not bringing on people for your entertainment. Sorry, I was talking to chat.
Okay.
Did you know that I have a brain that's been signed by Lacey Green?
You have a brain?
I have a brain that's been signed by Lacey Green. Seriously, look at this.
I'm not.
I feel almost.
You have
I feel.
to share
I
your
feel
camera
bad.
if you want me to see something.
Oh, you can just check my screen.
I don't know
President
what
Sunday,
your
you should all
stream is.
subscribe. So it was funny actually. So she went to the University of Victoria and she was giving a talk, and by sheer happenstance, I happened to have a brain-shaped stress ball from the engineering department. For some reason, they had those, and I was, for whatever reason, just standing right by the theater when I saw the sign and she was talking. I didn't know she was being there at all, and so by sheer happenstance, me and my very bearded friend were the first people in line to go say hi and give her a hug. It must have felt very odd. I did not ask for a hug. She gave hugs to everybody. Just how it was. Lovely person.
If there is not a deer, why is hunting season a tech?
I don't know who that is. So
Or at the very
sorry.
least, she seemed lovely at the
Curious.
time.
I don't
haven't
know.
followed her since.
Do you have like a summary of like who that is?
Lacey Green? You don't remember her?
No.
No.
Should I know her? I'm not Canadian.
I don't know if she's Canadian. I could be wrong. I thought she was American. But I don't know much about her. She had a bunch of, like, back in, like, 2016, 15-ish, she had a bunch of, like, sex-positive, lefty content on YouTube.
Oh, I never really watched political stuff on YouTube.
Oh, was she turfy?
I remember
God damn
Lacey
it.
Green.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that. Although it explains, because somebody in the audience shouted, "What about trans women?" in the conversation with her. And she conceded to her credit. I don't know if she followed through on that afterwards, but...
Yeah, Lacey Green was like an original kind of SJW YouTuber, and then they came out and released a video that was like, basically, I think they like had some sort of relationship with Chris Ray Gun, and I don't think it's purely attributed to that. But then after that, she then came out and like released some videos that were kind of questioning the SJW shit, and she got in like a bit of controversy over it. Oh. I think the idea that CRT being just race realism for lefties is really stupid and shallow way to engage with that subject. Yeah, that probably is a bit of a shallow way of looking at it. I think there's definitely criticisms of CRT, but I think I think that takes like that fall into the trap of like just simplifying it to the point where, you know, oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. It's like, you see that a lot where it's like just an easy reductive take that sounds kind of right, but when you actually dig into it, like it isn't quite as like simple as that, you know? And there's actually like other criticisms that you need to come at it with other than just, oh, it's like this other bad thing. There's this constant tendency to like want to compare things to the worst possible thing that you can think of. And it happens a lot with the Holocaust. A lot of people will compare things to the Holocaust, and it's like, well, it's not the Holocaust, is it? It's not fucking genocide. Like, you can say it's bad without having to say it's a fucking genocide or some shit, you know? Hey!
I just realized you've been on my auto.
Christoph
pay.
Topher,
Happy
thank you.
15
Appreciate you.
months.
I think we're the lore master. You don't know who Lacey Green is. Damn.
No, but
Forgot
that's like the joke about me being the lore master. It's the fact that I have to like watch it, and then I'm like a master of it.
Oh,
It's research
no!
in my brain, where
You're
everyone
more the
else
Lord
is just
Journey, really.
Fuck! I can't taste that. I can't taste that at all. I can't taste it. I think I've got fucking COVID. Fuck! I'm pretty sure I've got COVID. I can't taste that. I literally can't taste that. I've been coming down with something, and I've had like a runny nose, and you know, been a bit bunged up, and that's cream soda. That's cream soda there. Normally that would taste of like vanilla, and it just tastes of nothing. Cream soda drink. Yeah, that is an old man's drink, isn't it? I only bought it because it was on offer from Tesco. I got like extra club card points, although that also makes me sound old as well, so disregard that. Try and smell something. No. Fuck! Hey, thanks for the bits, Pans. I need to
You'll
download
be
the update
fine.
to COD and we'll play
COVID
soon.
doesn't exist. It's alive
Fuck!
on the
No, that's- I can't smell it.
LGBT+++.
That is like a very, you know, potent smell. The lip balm that I use, and I can't fucking smell it.
But yeah,
Fuck,
then I
man.
ended up, there was like a lot of drama or a lot of like old political takes and shit like that
Nothing.
I ended up being like the lore master because I recently watched it and everyone's like kind of pulling off of memory. And it was funny because in real time, when people were invoking like old dramas and like trying to invoke things that other content creators had done in the past, they were misremembering or they were intentionally misrepresenting. And I kind of had it at the top of my head, fresh in my memory, and I would correct. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's sometimes good going back and rewatching old stuff. I don't know if people intentionally remember things as more malicious than it was, or if they prey on the fact that people won't remember details and they'll use it as an opportunity to make people seem worse than they were. I find that it's caused more divisiveness in this space than was ever needed, and that there are... What?
What's wrong with divisiveness?
I don't think there's wrong with divisiveness so long as we aren't... How would I put this? I think it's good to have different opinions. I think it's really good. And I think it's okay in a conversation to not reach an agreement. It's like the court of law, right? You want someone to argue for the defense. You want someone to argue for the prosecution. And generally speaking, you should just like walk away and allow the jury to come to their conclusion. And maybe the moderator can be like the judge and declare something afterwards. But for the most part, you should do the best to make your case without like aiding the other side.
I realize I'm probably barking up the wrong tree here, but can I ask you like a serious question?
I mean, are you going to let me finish?
You would pause. I thought you were done.
No. So I think divisiveness is good because I think that's the only way that you can really talk things out. That's the only way that you really give people the ability to hear out both sides of an argument is if you allow people to strongly disagree and to make their points. But I find that this space doesn't allow that, and they tend to jump to ban, report, villainize, and deplatform before they allow people to actually make their complete argument. Like I think that's, and I just think that that's bad. I don't like that. Man,
how much?
Now go ahead. You wanna again?
The worst thing about COVID is the taste thing. Okay. I don't care what the CDC says, right? The worst thing about it is the taste. You can't fucking taste anything. In fact, when I drank this earlier, it didn't seem quite right. I've got to say, like it was like I don't know. There was something about it that wasn't quite right, and now this is. Oh, man. Double boosted Pfizer cock so tasty. What the fuck?
It's okay. British food is trash anyways, even though y'all stole spices from India.
Thank you for the bits. How do you get it so often? Well, I actually go outside from time to time. Yeah. Oh man, I knew last night I was coming down with something. I could feel it, but like, yeah, I've got a headache and shit. But yeah.
And ask me what am I doing? Right?
What are you doing? What are you doing this for?
You know what? How about you tell me what you're doing this for, President Sunday? Be the example. What is a good reason to do this? What's your reason? Doxing people?
I haven't doxed people. I was asking out of curiosity.
Yeah, but I'm curious first. What do you do it for?
But I was asking you.
Yeah, but I want to feel inspired.
The tikka masala was invented in the UK.
It's interesting to me. Politics is interesting to me. Understanding what holds some people back, what motivates some people.
What's this?
Were you banned?
If you get COVID 5 times, you're legally considered Chinese. I'm pretty sure I'm on my way there. I think this could be my 3rd or maybe even 4th time having it. There's like once or twice I've had it and I've not bothered to get myself tested. So I'm nearly there.
Banning people for misgendering for calling you out for misgendering dough.
No, I haven't banned a single person. I'm not even looking at my chat.
I've got people in my chat saying you did.
I'm not even looking at my chat.
Can't taste
But I'm
your
talking about my
balls
chat.
cum. I feel for you, little
Maybe not
buddy.
tonight. Maybe Friday.
Thanks for the base.
I don't believe in the it pronoun stuff. I think it's dehumanizing, and I'll never be on board with it. So.
Oh, do you want to talk
I've
about that?
been-
It's actually interesting. I've had difficulty with that too. That's an interesting topic. Do you want to talk about
We can do it another time. We can finish this
that?
topic.
Well, I don't even know what topic we're on anymore. What do we do right now? I think that'd be much more
I
interesting
answered
than
why
what
I do this, and I really am curious why you do it. Because you said it's not for fun or for sport. You said there's something more. You've got like rules for yourself.
I
So
didn't say that anywhere. What are you talking about?
I mean, it'll be in the
I do this.
Honestly, a pronoun discussion is one of the most insufferable conversations I could ever think of. Do you know what I mean? Oh my god, man.
Because I like talking about political theory because I think it's interesting and important, but I have no pretenses about the channel like being politically efficacious as like.
If you get gonorrhea,
Okay,
4
so you
times,
like the
sure.
conversations, but you like the conversations. You
Oh,
are
I like the
detached
subject.
from the people.
Conversations are often pretty bad, actually.
Okay.
Sorry.
you like the subject of like politics and political theory and social issues or whatever, but you are removed or dissociated from like people that it affects?
No, I just don't think the channel has any like direct impact generally on politics. It's too small.
No, I'm not
think you can-
asking what your channel can affect. I'm not asking what you
comment?
have the ability to affect you as a person. When I talk about what I like doing here, I'm not talking about what I'm able to do here. It's what interests me.
Sure,
It's
but
why
I'm
I
not.
turn on
I'm
my
not.
stream.
I'm not trying to do things here that I know I'm not able to do. Right?
If you're able to do it, what would you do? Why would you turn on your stream if you're able to?
If I was able to like.
Yeah,
have
what are the
a
dreams
serious
that would
and
motivate
immediate
you?
impulse.
Yeah.
Well, I don't dream about that. That sounds horrible. That's an immense
You know I'm not talking
pressure
about
and
that. Just-
responsibility.
Okay, if it was possible, what would motivate you? If all things were possible, with your channel.
That's such a weird question.
How is that a weird question?
It's a weird question. Because it's so open-ended.
Is autism
Okay, I'm not
near
saying that you have to tell me
pronoun?
like what.
I mean, I don't believe so, no. But maybe that I possibly. But I do know that autism gender is a xenogender. You can be autism gender. That's most of you in this chat, to be honest. Oh, fuck me. Oh, man. I'm honestly pissed off. I feel like when you realize you've got some sort of issue. I mean, I'm like 90% sure it's COVID, but yeah, I can't be 100%. But when you feel like you just recognize that you're ill and then you just feel bad. I'm feeling like that right now. But I will watch the end of this conversation. We'll get through this, okay? Yeah. I'm now COVID gender. True. Fuck. Well, I probably won't do a test. I'm not going to bother with a test, no. My ex might have one at my kid's house, so maybe there's one there. Long COVID is for sure a gender. Honestly, it's always funny to me. You sometimes see like a post. You sometimes see a post from like some disabled person. They're like, "Oh, COVID's still a thing. Don't give it to me." And I'm like, "Bro, COVID is fucking. We've moved on. We're just fucking managing it as part of our day-to-day lives now. Why are you trying to act like I should do anything different with my life just because your fucking lungs are mullered?" Nah, I'll give that a miss. Thank you very much.
Also,
What
like, the nature
organizations
of what
would you
the-
start? Which are, you don't have
No,
to
no,
say
no,
that,
but like
just,
the nature of what a channel is changes like with size and power to begin with. Like for example, I can be sort of happy-go-lucky with like I can read.
Here, let's theorize you have
I
5,000
can
viewers.
Test is
I
free.
can go and critique like a page of Dugan somewhere, or I can go watch some like dumb debate between somebody.
Let's
and somebody.
theorize you get 5,000 live viewers, and that's
Let
what
the
you hold
homeless
at.
people know.
What would your motivation be? This audience, they care about what you think. What do you want to do? Do you
Where's
continue
all
to
the
just
sympathy for
think
me?
about politics just as like a thought-provoking exercise, interest, fun, hobby?
Well, I
Or
wouldn't
do
say
you...
that. I have a genuine passion for it, but I think
No, but your genuine
think I
passion
would-
for politics seems like it's removed from actual people.
of course it is.
I don't think, of course it is normal.
Okay, so
Like when
actual
you have an
politics-
opinion about it or its pronouns,
Are we
you're
going to
thinking
that?
about people.
I am.
Or
yes.
when you have an opinion about like what the lay person is going to feel when they hear that someone has credentials, you're thinking about people. You can't.
I am, yes.
It's a little for
that
you
stuff,
to say.
those debates.
Isn't it crazy? This is a very curious point. Isn't it crazy that there seems to be a disproportionate amount of women with totally untestable conditions that cause them fatigue and migraines, entirely internal symptoms? Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is one of them. That was always a great one when you had dealt with that at life insurance, because it's like a very, it's a condition that's recognized, but it's like very non-specific, and it's, entirely internal symptoms that prevent them from working, such as long COVID. I got fibromyalgia. Honestly, that was the most annoying thing. Sometimes it would just be some fucking stupid bitch that sat at home that literally can't be fucked to like do anything with their life, and they're trying to get life insurance and they're just telling you they got some bullshit condition which probably isn't even diagnosed. So annoying. Listen, I'm trying to get your fucking £5 policy on. This is worth like 50p to me, okay? Can you just shut the fuck up and just answer the questions the right way, please?
I take part in because I care about the thing, not because they're fun. I don't enjoy them. I'll do
It
them,
is
but I
coming
don't
off
enjoy
like
them.
you don't care about the people that the things that
No,
you're
actually,
complaining about would actually affect.
that would
and
be
it-
no. Hang on.
it gives,
The
like,
fact that I'm doing
like
the fact that I'm doing
sociopath
something,
vibes.
the fact that I'm doing something that I don't enjoy indicates that I do care about it. Because
No,
I'm
I don't
doing
think
it despite the fact that I
you're
don't like
understanding
doing
what
it.
I'm saying.
I think we're on the same page about that.
I'm saying that you'll make arguments or you'll have arguments, but you don't actually care about the people that it's affecting.
Oh, I care very much about the people it's affecting, but oftentimes the arguments are like super, like just abstract and esoteric. So they don't, the arguments themselves don't have an immediate connection to like people and whatever. I think one of the reasons why people like my channel is I try to connect it to things that people are sort of familiar with. It's sometimes not like real people.
I
Sometimes
don't.
just,
I
like,
don't think you even
like
believe that.
movies or video games or whatever.
What we've been talking about, it's directly affecting people to the point where you invoked people. But okay.
I didn't follow that. Can you say it again?
It's. You said the whole thing with Kylo was because of what the layperson is going to think when they engage with someone with credentials. I think you do care about.
And also because she
Or
sells
you imply that you care about people.
No, hang on. And also just for the purpose of thoroughness, also because she sells a service locating, connecting people with therapists and judging between therapists when she's in no position to do so. That's well beyond the realm of her expertise. But people think
Okay.
it's within the
And
realm of her expertise.
so I told you what I'm here, why I like to do this, why I turn my camera on. What was your reason again? Because I don't think I understand.
Why I turn my camera on?
Yeah.
Well, I turn my camera on because there's an advantage in being able to communicate with your face and with gestures than just with using an avatar. I was really uncomfortable with turning my
I'm
camera
a
on
bit
initially.
perplexed. What's happening now? It feels like they're just searching for a reason to have a conversation, right? I don't really understand what's happening here. I feel like Chaeiry's trying to like humanize him or something. I don't even know anymore.
I like anonymity. There's safety there.
Okay. I didn't mean the camera. What makes you turn your stream on? Camera or not? What makes you type on the internet? What makes you engage in
It's
discourse
more
in this
efficient.
space?
It takes a long time to make a video essay, and however long the stream lasts to make a stream.
Okay, yes.
Bluntly.
So, what makes you want to upload and make content?
I enjoy the subject matter. It gives me a way to monetize research.
How
that
long
I
is
have
this
more time
fucking
doing it.
convo, man? I mean,
What
and I
motivates
like-
you?
I don't know if I can sit here and watch the whole thing. What is there like another thing I can get to that's like interesting? Apparently, Demon comes on. Maybe I should skip to that.
Research.
I like communicating with people about it.
What motivates you to do
research?
research in this
In, like,
field, this
Political
topic?
science and political theory.
Yeah.
Well, one, I find it fascinating. Two, I think it's really important to be able to understand it because a lot of people will onboard ideas derived from it as if they are simply true and obvious facts, when in fact they're the result of a long chain of assumptions, some of which are very
Yeah,
spurious.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just like,
So like when people
I've
will-
got this problem that I've got, right? Where I will sit through an entire conversation just because I've started watching it, right? I'm like, right, I've got to see the whole thing out. But why? What does it fucking matter? Who fucking cares? I told myself I was going to finish streaming like 50 minutes ago, and here I still am. You know, listening to this conversation when they're trying to figure out why President Sunday turns his webcam on. I mean, obviously it was interesting to hear them talk about the Erudite stuff, but unless someone links me a timestamp right now of another interesting part of the conversation that I can watch for just a minute and have my interest piqued, we're done.